There.
Welcome to the latest episode of Pubcast Plays Dungeons and Dragons! Session 4!
We're still
alive! Where we left off in the last session, the guys had made their way, the group had made their way into Terrismore and had dolled themselves all up for a banquet.
Yes.
And were making their way to the banquet. They had to sneak past, not sneak past, they had to try and get past the guards, but Ogun's kind of stature and kind of outward look alarmed the guards because they thought he was a wild animal, even though he was dressed in very fine clothes. And wild animals weren't allowed, or animals of any sort weren't allowed in the banquet. So they tried to stop him, and in the whole thing, the group tried to charm the guards, and they failed.
You say the group?
Yeah.
We don't need to point fingers at who's our personal fails.
Before we get into what's about to happen, people may have noticed from the numbers that are around the table, we're missing Tom this week.
We missed Tom!
We love you, Tom.
Tom is off doing some much needed work.
Much needed work.
Using his brilliant... Him and his fantastic wife are off using their photography skills to make somebody's wedding day extra special.
Yeah,
so that's what Tom is
extra
doing. So Tom is not with us for this session. For this session, I will be rolling for Talazar and doing his interactions and stuff like that. So we're going to move ahead with the game as best we can. And I promise Tom Talazar will survive to the end. We'll see.
Not unscathed. He'll survive.
But so where we left off, the guards had grappled Ogun.
Yes.
The group were kind of caught on the back foot, and that's where we're going to pick up from now. So
the guards are hauling you off.
The guards are taking you down. You were, I think you, if I'm not mistaken, you were on top of Norman's shoulders.
Yeah, and they grabbed
me. They were grabbing you and pulling you off. So what would the group like to do in this moment?
I would like to look the other way and walk into the banquet with Swift.
Yes, you are accompanied to the banquet by Swift, who is a local tailor, an elven tailor, who you persuaded to come on a date with you to the banquet because you offered him your +1.
Yeah, that's what I
How
offered.
many guards are there flanking?
Right there at the entrance that you're at, there were two. There were two.
I'm gonna get them.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna get them.
You're gonna attack them.
I'm going to need their. I'm busy. I'm focused. I don't need this. I kind of have a loyalty to this badger. I am going to. I'm gonna try something.
What would you like to do?
I would like to wrest Ogun from the guards and twack, 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 twack. Twack, 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 kick, twack, and yeah.
It doesn't get any better because.
And can I use my mask
as
to
they're grabbing me
in front of them so nobody's noticing this?
It's just like as they're grabbing me and pulling me off, I'm getting a case of the what's that word we used again? It's meant to be
PTSD.
Yeah, but I'm getting it's a case of the bees because I can't pronounce that big word. Or Ogun can't, so he kind of gets a kind of a little. Kind of flashback of something else when last time someone got aggressive with him and he's gone full before it comes in. The animal in him's coming out and he's just gonna bite the guard.
Like 20,000 blood.
Okay, but I don't know.
So,
yeah.
I have no weapons
that you know of.
See, we have
so
our rig outs
let's
now.
refresh on your rig out in particular.
Yes.
For this.
Concealment.
I have concealment.
Swift had told you that he was going to make some adjustments to your outfit to allow you to conceal weapons. So you do have upon your person a couple of daggers around your bodice that are hidden.
Yeah.
And one up your left sleeve. Okay?
Right.
So you have 3 daggers on you. You want to attack the guards?
I want to take the guards quietly down and leave them bleeding and move on.
Okay.
You mean like a Vulcan show?
So the guards, let's get a figure where the group is at the moment. So right now we have Norman with Ogun is on his shoulders that the guards are wrestling off. Who's beside Norman? You're with Swift and you've turned on your heel and you're gone in. So while the guards are distracted, you've headed into the banquet. You have Ogun on your shoulders, it's been taken off your shoulders, the guards are kind of focused on that.
I was coming up behind you guys, I think.
Where are you standing? You were behind everyone coming up the steps?
Yeah, so these two are in front of me.
Sure. Colleen, are you now positioning yourself behind the guards?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to do a sneak attack if I can.
Yeah, and you get sneak attack on an attack because they are attacking and flanking
I am going
an ally.
to
They're distracted.
They're distracted, so you get surprise attack.
surprise attack. I am going to use my daggers. I'm going to do some Achilles slashing, and I'm going to then clamp the. But I'm signaling.
Are you doing? You're going in for the kill.
No, I want them out of the way.
You're trying to knock them out.
I'm trying to take them physically down to the ground, and I'm going to then try to communicate to my co-adventurers to shove something in their mouths. to
Okay,
keep them
I
quiet.
need you to roll two things. I need you to roll a stealth check
Okay.
first,
Okay.
and then I need you to roll an attack because there's two guards.
Yes.
Yep. I got 2 daggers. I'm fast.
Okay, roll a stealth check first because
Okay.
there are other people around.
Yeah.
This is people are
Yeah,
coming
that's
to a
why
banquet.
I'm
So
being quiet.
okay, right.
And this is why I'm like, can I like?
You see,
like-
I'm confident
Sure.
that
I just wanna
Aaron here
help.
is behind me
Sure.
and has my back. And we'll see what my machinations are.
Yeah.
Right, okay, I'm gonna roll a stealth check.
What did you get? What did you get?
9.
9. The guard closest to you sees you. Here's the unsheathing of the daggers from the bodice.
Oh, come on.
And
Come on,
turns.
Taylor. Come on. What is that? He turns.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
And they turn.
Alright, what do you want from me?
They raise their spear towards you, and they say, "Drop it. Drop it now, or we will be taking you all in."
While they are facing Codeine, can I like knock them on the back of the head and knock them out? Because you know, half orc.
An orc that will fight for you.
Norman,
Up until this point, I think the only acknowledgement I've given is a little wince of pain when he's dragged off of my shoulders.
sure.
But I can see this situation going south very quickly.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What gave
So,
it away?
so I kind of turn to the guards. So let me get this layout right in my head. So you're next to me.
Me?
You're close to me at
I'm
least.
gone.
She's got.
Has she-
Loran is
actually
around.
gone.
Loran has gone in.
Oh, got
So
in,
the
okay.
guards were guarding the door
Yeah.
because you distracted them. This
Yeah.
all happened, kicked off. Loran grabs Swift by
Actually,
the
that's a
arm
fair
and marched
point.
straight in.
Yeah, see the guards.
So Loran is now in the banquet with Swift.
Yeah, the guards are only paying attention to me because of you. I'm very annoyed about this. But yeah.
How much attention?
not being dragged off?
But at the
How
same
much
time,
attention could they be paying to you right now?
but at the
Yeah,
same
that's
time,
the
they're
thing.
now facing Codeine because she's.
One
Yeah.
of them is.
Or
One of the
sorry,
guards has turned, so they're now. The guards are technically back to back.
Mm.
The one that is wrestling with Ogun off your shoulders has not. The one that was closest to you.
Is
guard-
Ogun wriggling?
Ogun is wriggling away. The guard is trying to grab Ogun off Norman's shoulders, and in the process, while you drew out the daggers, the guard closest to you heard you unsheathe the dagger, and turned and basically pointed their spear at you,
Yeah.
and told you to drop it. While the other one, so right now you have two guards back to back, one facing Norman and Ogun, one facing you,
Yeah.
and then you have Aratir coming up the steps behind everyone. Loran is gone inside with Swift.
Yeah.
So the guard who's facing me and I presume has Darren.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously my prior thing was that Darren is my familiar. So I'm going to just look at him and be like, am I to assume that if you are to apprehend my familiar for the duration of whatever this event is, you and I are square, yes?
The guard is kind of half looking at you going, are you not with these people? Sorry, it's a woman.
These
You're not with
people-
these people.
I've never seen them before in my life.
You all presented an invitation together.
Yes, we're sort of a loose association, but I've never actually met them. This is our first meeting. We work for the same employer. That's the extent of it.
The guard is too busy. He just waves you off. He's trying to wrestle Logan off. Like that's it. You're
Yeah, I
gone.
just said it.
Okay, so
Enjoy.
we're now left.
Yeah, I follow
You
them around.
followed around. We're now left with Codeine, Arathir, and Ogun wrestling. Well, no, Arathir is still kind of coming into the scene to a degree, and you two are dealing with the guards.
So I would like to do
What you would like to do?
if this is what I'm going to try and do, is bite the guard, but not vicious bite. Like, you know when you get a kind of, oh, Jesus, you're not expecting
Sure,
it.
yeah.
And hopefully that he'll let me go. Apologies. She'll let me, or kind of go, and then I'll drop and I'll do a leg around. That's what I'm hoping, but, you know, it's more like, I'm not going to bite, but it's more of the...
Roll an attack.
Okay.
What did you get?
Give me a sec. I don't know.
Sorry, we appear to have cursed dice. Could we get regular?
The dice gods are being it's done off dex, is it? Or done, yes, it will be done off by dex, so +1, so 4.
Why did you ask?
The guard's AC is
I've never
14,
attacked
so
before. It
it's
would have
not
been a
gonna
spell,
happen.
would have been awesome.
So you go to nibble at the guard bites their hand back like that and just bops you on the nose. And you're like,
Can I give a little pouty look and see?
he's going to try and do the
Go with some boots.
Yeah, that might work. And then she might go,
the guard is just like, just trying to wrestle you away at this point. So, Aratir, what are you doing?
Okay. So the guard still has Ogun.
The guard has Ogun, Norman is gone, Loran is gone,
Loran's gone.
Codeine is now at
I
spear
have-
point and you've dropped your daggers.
Drop my
Yes.
dice. Clink, clink.
Okay. I'm going to be the voice of reason here for a minute. No, I don't look like I might be. But suspend your disbelief for a minute. Can you elaborate as to why you want our furry companion?
There are no animals allowed in the banquet. We have stipulated this. It is posted on the invitations clearly.
But he's clearly a sentient being. He's not just an animal. Ogun.
what?
See? He talks.
Yeah.
The guard
I'm dressed as well.
And he's dressed. And he's dressed beautifully.
And
he
I have
can
a
put in
cane.
some effort.
And
into
at this point the
And
guard
he's
has dropped you
covered
on your ass. The other guard who's holding, kind of looking around like this,
Why would you
the guard's like, okay, clearly we have made a mistake if this is a sentient creature.
He's a sentient creature, and he's my companion. And I can assure you, he is not going to behave like an animal at the banquet. We're here to party, and we're also here to do some business.
I
And I would
also-
really appreciate it if you could let him go and let him attend as intended.
I wish to apologise for my behaviour. I'm afraid I have seen some things as an adventurer. It triggered me, and I'm afraid I let loose. You have my arms. There will be no more trouble.
The guard.
Also, can I kind of switch my clothes?
You can switch
Can
it
I
now.
when I'm saying you have my arms, I give a little toss of the, just so we can see the
How
finesse.
nice it is.
The guard looks you up and down. She's not really too pushed about the finesse. Doesn't seem too impressed. This guard has seen royalty and high dignitaries come and go. There's no big
Gotcha.
deal about it. It's cloak swish. They pick up your daggers and they pocket them, and then they motion you into like, no funny business. We will be keeping an eye on you all.
Thank you very much.
I bow. Ish.
I assure you I'm house trained, so you don't anything else to worry about me.
Indeed. So just make your way into the banquet.
I apologise to my group.
I can't believe I was the voice of reason. Anyway.
Queen of stealth and diplomacy.
Going over a whiskey like I've seen some shit.
Oh man.
I don't know about you two, but I need a drink.
Hey, let's do it.
Okay, so you make your way inside the hall. As you enter,
Is it opulent?
It's opulent. Fucking hell. You make your way into the hall,
Yeah.
okay, and as you make your way in, it's a corridor of stone archways. That in each archway there is a large pedestal. On top of the pedestal is like a huge bouquet of flowers, all in the royal colours of gold and blue. As you move along, it's like each bouquet gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you reach a large archway with a kind of a semicircular top to it, draped in royal blue curtains. And there are two more guards posted there. They are in more finer armour, kind of like ceremonial armour, not too dissimilar to what you're wearing, but with more of a royal embellishments on it and with like cloaks over the shoulder. The two of them are standing there and they both have spears. Their helmets are off and both of them have these very elaborate braids from the centre of their head straight down, and it's kind of plaited and then falls down to the back, the middle of their backs. They are kind of on either side of the entranceway. As you walk up, you can hear music playing. You can hear, raised voices having conversation as you approach the entrance to the main hall. They kind of move to one side and allow you to enter. They didn't hear any of the bustle that was happening outside of the two guards checking invitations at the door. As you enter in, you can make out just off to the left, kind of looking around, bewildered and kind of not too nonplussed about the whole situation, is Norman. And then again off to the right, linked arm in arm with Swift, is Loran. There are countless long tables on either side of this huge grand hall. A massive, massive stone grand hall. All the tables are decked out with finery, like silk tablecloths, candelabras, flowers. You can see all the placements at it. You get these high back chairs with beautiful decorations kind of wrapped around them. Like the poshest wedding you've ever been to and the poshest castle you've ever seen. On either side of the room, there are these huge, 10 feet tall, maybe higher, 10 to 15 feet tall stained glass windows that go all the way along the length of the banquet hall. It's a high arched ceiling, and at the top of the ceiling it looks like there's some kind of spell or bewitchment, but there's like this starlight floating down. It's like the whole banquet hall is done up in these beautiful blue and gold kind of drapery and heraldry, and they all have crowns and stars and everything. Everything just seems to be celebrating the royal family. As you look up, the rows of tables are in rows of 4, so there's 1, 2, a large space in the centre, and 3 and 4. And those tables then kind of go up, and there's people seated at the tables, but there's also a lot of people milling about. At the top of the room, there is a kind of a raised plinth, and on that there's another high table. And at the high table then there's a very large golden and royal blue draped tablecloth. There are only 3 chairs at this table. There is 1 large chair in the centre and 2 on either side. One on either side. And the only chair that's actually occupied is the one in the centre. And for most of you, let me see now, I want all of you to roll a history check. So what did we get?
6 for me.
5.
19.
19.
5.
Okay, you two recognise the person at the top table as the viceroy. He's sitting there in a large, deep blue robe. It's embroidered with gold. He's wearing a kind of like not a crown, but he's wearing the circlet of his office. He has long, very well maintained hair. It's kind of pepper hairs, like salt and pepper hairs, black at the top, and then it comes down into kind of grey at the bottom. He's around, I say he's in his late 50s. He has a tightly trimmed beard. Very broad man, big man. And he's sitting there holding a goblet and he's drinking from it. He's looking around the room. He's just taking everything in. To his left is this towering woman. Huge. Ebony skin with a pure white braided, what looks like a mohawk, down the top of her head and again down the back. She has, again, the armour of the royal armour, but it's like the celebratory armour, so these type of occasions, dress armour, and it's different than the ones that you've seen. It's kind of like a dark crimson, and it has gold embroidered through it. She has these stripes across the left side. Huge, imposing woman, but very gentle looking face with piercing gold eyes. She stands slightly taller than Narrative. She's like very, very tall, broad, big arms, and she just has her arms behind her back and she's surveying the room.
And her phone number is.
This is for again, you two, you've rolled the history check, so you rolled high enough to know kind of who this person is meant to be. But this is Ceres Villar. She is the captain of the guards. Very formidable looking lady. Viceroy's name is Arduin Corrick Black III.
Say that again?
Arduin Corrick Black III. He's a human man. Ceres Villar clocks in at an even 7 feet tall.
Whoa.
She's a Goliath.
Cool.
Is she actually a Goliath?
Sorry,
Okay.
where do I find climbing on
Because
this?
that is a distinction.
It is, yeah, no,
Yeah.
it is.
So she's half a foot taller than me. She's not just a little taller.
Yeah,
than
it's
me.
half of a taller than you.
Yeah. Sucking.
I think the person who wants to do the sucking here came in.
Hey!
So they're basically, Ceres is looking over the room with a watchful eye.
Mhm.
But the Viceroy is, he looks quite jovial. He's sitting back in his chair, he's holding his goblet, kind of
Taking it
surveying the room, taking it all in. There's a plate placed in front of him. There are no other settings at the table. There are 2 other chairs, but there's no other settings. And loads of different people are milling about the room, all of different race, dress, but all looking very, very well put together, looking rich. This is a rich room. These are the high-class people of Terrismore, and some that you can see from beyond.
How do we scan to people in our duds? How do we look to people?
You look quite well. Like there's our similar. Like Swift has done a good job on yours, and the subsequent tailors that you've all got your work done at. That you look very well. You look the part.
Okay.
You know, you do look the
So
part.
we're not going to arouse
You're not gonna-
initial suspicion or.
You may arouse a few people, but it's not going to be for suspicion.
Hey!
So it's good. Like I mean, you're blending in. You look well. You look as part. You look that you belong there.
Yeah.
You know, you're decked out for this banquet. As you move about the room, where do you want to go? Do you want to
I
clump
need
together?
I need a server.
There are waiters walking around with trays of goblets of wine, and there does seem to be a bar of sorts, but a very high class bar over
Free, of course.
over to the right hand side to the back of the room. There seems to be people serving drinks there.
I would like to. Does somebody go past Art here? Can she stay with us to get our booze on, or do we have to go with her?
You guys can do what you want at this point. You can
Yeah.
stay together. You can go off on your own. Currently, as it stands, Loran and Swift are off to one side. Norman is off to one
It's
side.
off to one side.
So,
I would. Talazar is here too.
Ta-
Would I be able
apologies,
to?
Tom. Talazar has made his way in as well with the group, and apologies, I forgot about Talazar
Yeah.
in the actual encounter as well. So that's on me. I forgot about that. I meant to be rolling for him. Talazar was struck mute with the idiocy that he saw at the front gate, so he made his way in with the group and is now standing at the back as well. He's just kind of scanning the room,
Guards.
looking for different things, just to see, kind of scanning the room, see if there's anyone he knows. Because Talazar of his order is a monk of an order that keeps the peace as well. So he's kind of looking out to see if there's anyone that he might know here.
Okay. I would like to ask Talazar, what's our best case scenario from this party? What we want to achieve from being here? We know. I mean, we know. Yeah. I would like to ask him first.
Have we not been charged to come and speak to the king?
Yes. I mean, how do we do? How does Talazar think we could do that?
I think the answer for that question sits in that chair. We need to speak to the viceroy.
Okay, I'm going to. I don't think we need to do that now. I'm going to follow Arit here.
Drinks?
Drinks!
I'm not arsed with this wine that's making its way around. I need something a bit stronger.
No, okay. Okay, come on.
I just want it known that when Codeine and Talazar are talking, that duo always merits a sideways glare from woman.
So Norman is giving you a sideways glare as you walk off together towards the bar.
Okay, do we have a shade rattle? Can we get a shade?
Oh, what do you want to do? You are drawing one or two little looks from people. There are one or two. They seem quite amused by you, but they're like, because you're dressed well enough that you belong here. But they're like, interesting creature.
Yeah.
I'll just wander.
Yeah, I want to stay close to him.
So you're going over to Norman.
Yeah, I know. But I'm taking it all in, and
Because you're currently coming up to most people's waist at this point.
Oh yeah,
You know, so
this is all for kind of first time, and like kind of like trying to work out what the hell.
sure.
Like it's like I've got a question.
Yeah.
Why was there all that hassle at the door when the other door people were just walking in?
You know, I actually have no idea.
Loran, what are you doing?
I'm dancing with Swift.
So you and Swifter,
We're boogieing.
Boogie.
Yeah,
Um,
we're schmoozing. He's probably introducing me to some people he knows from the city, and we're having a good
So
time.
Swift, as he's doing a dance, I'm not going to say he's just like
Swaying.
He is kind of gesturing towards different people around the room, and he gestures over towards. You see a tabaxi.
Ooh.
He goes, "Surprised to see her, yeah?
Oh.
She has come a long way. Haven't seen her in these parts in a while." And the person he points over to, he tells you that she is. Her name is. They basically call her Lady Claw.
Oh, cool.
But her full title is Claw of the Sky.
Ooh.
She is a representative of the Merchants Guild from Henrik's Point.
Okay.
On my writing page.
Um,
Write that down.
I'm not gonna.
And she is standing over next to. She's talking to a human and a dwarf, who are. She's kind of like they look like they're actually a bit uncomfortable in the situation that they're in
Okay.
because while they're well dressed, their complexion and kind of awkward demeanor, the way they're standing and their body language, looks like they don't actually belong in this setting.
Okay.
They have the dwarf in particular. Roll a perception check for me, please.
These are never good. 14.
14. You notice that the dwarf actually has, he was getting ready in a hurry, and he has small smudges of dirt across his bearded face.
Okay.
So it's like he looks like he works. So he's a worker. He's not exactly royalty. But the tabaxi is a very kind of like open conversation with him. You can't really hear what she's saying, but she is talking to them openly and gesturing and kind of like they're nodding along, and she's kind of like she's holding court with them, and they're kind of
Okay.
agreeing with her
Okay.
at the same time. And a few people are throwing looks to her as well.
Okay.
Swift explains to you that she is as I said, she's a representative of the Merchants Guild from Henrik's Point. Roll a history check for me.
Would she recognise me?
Nope. That's just a good old 7.
Okay. You don't really know much about that.
No.
Cody, you asked, would she recognise you? She hasn't seen you at this point.
Would she if she saw me?
You won't know until you go up to her. Or she sees you.
Not gonna.
Okay. So, you see her, he points to her and says, that's the lady, this Lady
Yeah.
Claw.
Yeah.
He says, she comes in and out of these pots. She represents the guild, what they politely call the Merchants Guild, but they have a history in a little more unlawful nature, one might
Ah, I see.
say. Yes.
Is she well liked?
Oh, well, as a representative, she is extremely diplomatic. And she holds herself very well. I've had a few conversations with her in the past about, getting in supplies and boats of fabric and stuff, and she's been very accommodating. Her and associates are very accommodating for my needs.
I see. That sounds.
As you're dancing, and your goldfish globule is floating around your head,
Waiting for him.
and you're aware that Swift
Can I
also
actually
has...
Can I make a note that I don't have my goldfish out during this? Because I'm actually trying to,
Well, you've put your goldfish away.
for this, yeah.
So
So
it's
Rand's
like,
kind of like, there's a time and a place for
Okay.
these antics.
Okay.
Wow.
So, well,
That exists?
regardless of that, you notice that Swift has a familiar.
Yeah.
And it's a cat. It's a black, like a charcoal black cat, very sleek, with piercing green eyes. Like these eyes look like they're. If you look at them long enough, they actually look like they're starting to glow. And the cat is not so. It's perched on his shoulders, across his shoulders, and the tail drapes down into his garb. Even as he's moving, the cat kind of shifts its weight to kind of stay in place. And Swift isn't bothered by it. The cat is there at all times. Swift is kind of looking around the room as well. He's noticing the group have entered, and he's like, "Your friends have managed to make their way into the banquet hall.
Oh, good. That's great.
They all seem to have made it in unscathed and everything. It's fantastic. I actually would like to have a conversation with one of your more stealthy friends. I think she's making her way to the bar. Would you mind?
The orc. She is very stealthy.
No, not the orc. The one that I made the outfit for.
That hurts.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
I forgot to explain to her the more intricate details of her cloak.
Right. Do I have to come?
You don't have to. You can stay here if you wish.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah, I'll schmooze.
Swift makes his way over to you. He says, Codeine, isn't it?
Well met. Yes. Hello, Swift.
I forgot to mention, and apologies, but
Am I privy to this conversation?
you're standing right
You're
next
right
to
there.
the bar. Yeah? I forgot to mention to you, and he kind of gestures on your arm and gestures towards the cloak. I made some adjustments to your cloak. You didn't seem to know the lineage of it, and some people here might, but you also seem like somebody who needs something is functional. So you will find, and this is apologies as a DM, I forgot to write the sheet for this. I do have it. I will give it to you. We'll take a break and I'll get it free and I'll get it to you. But he tells you that the cloak, in combat, if you grab the inside of it, you see, he gestures towards it, he tells you to feel on the inside of the cloak, just inside on your right hand side, you feel a small bump, just inside the fabric. He says, do not press it, but during combat it's very handy. If you press and swish the cloak, it will hail a rain of darts upon any opponent you aim at.
In which direction?
You swish the cloak, so if you hold the button and go,
At the bottom.
a spray of darts come out. You obviously attack roll, and then it's 1d4 for damage.
Right.
So I have the stat sheet for it. I just don't have it here. I will give it to you after the break. So you just made a slight adjustment to that. So it's a good thing you didn't press the button when you were swishing it at the guards. When you actually said I swish it at the guards, I was like, oh crap.
Oh.
So because I was hoping that you were going to just feel inside of it, and all of a sudden, like the whatever way you gesture, if you gesture wildly, I was going to have to kind of do something, but thankfully it didn't happen. So he informs you of the upgrade that he made to your cloak, and it's now quite functional and gives you an extra bit of thing in combat. And he goes, I would also like to point out that I take from your accent, you are from a certain part of the world that might not be seen too kindly in these circles.
You're correct about that, Swift. Don't judge me by my company, but
You will-
judge me by my company now.
Trust me, I am not one to cast judgment. I welcome all types of
Do you
walks
think
of
I'm
life.
going to have any problem with any of our fellow guests?
Not with the guests. Now everyone here is quite civil and they won't do anything openly in such a loud setting, but be aware that there are some people in this room that might recognise your accent, or if like depending on how you seem to have muted it slightly over whatever time you've been travelling, but they might pick up on it. So be aware of that. Maybe try to cover it up slightly, unless
I shall.
people pick up on it straight away. Like I did. So he says, and enjoy your drinks. I'm going back to the dance floor. And he makes his way back over, and his can is still draped over his shoulders as he makes his way across. The servers are moving around. Is there anything else you want to do? Anyone else wants to do at this point?
I would like to talk to the tabaxi.
You want to talk to the backseat, great. So okay.
Okay.
So are you approaching to the backseat as you speak to the human and dwarf?
I have a drink and I'm looking quite poised. I'm good.
Okay.
I've been scanning and I see Laurent going over there.
Sure.
And my Herrick's point sense is tingling.
Okay.
Can I borrow your map for 2 seconds, please?
Of course.
Just a quick refresher on
So Laurent, as you make your way over,
Yup.
you're sauntering over. Roll a perception check.
Okay. I have 3. 20, but not natural.
Okay. So you hear the conversation that the Tabaxi is having with the two men, and she's like,
And I would like to assure you that we have all of the wares that you requested, and they will be coming to you in time. We appreciate your patronage. Clearly you must need these materials to continue your work, and we would happily support you, and your coin again is appreciated. You will find 2 carriages at the docks containing the materials you acquire. You will pay my colleague who is in the Docklands with these carriages, and that will be a deal done until next time. I thank you. And the two men nod, bow, and make their way off. And just as you're approaching,
Cool.
she kind of turns, and you meet her as she turns.
Yeah. It's like, evening.
Good evening.
My companion couldn't help but notice your attendance. Just wanted to say hello.
Yes, I
Kind of gestures over at Swift.
Swift is kind of making his way through the dance
Yeah.
floor. She goes, "Oh, Swift, darling. Hello. How are you? Good evening, Lady Claw. It has been wonderful to see you. I did not expect to see you at such a banquet. You don't usually come to these sorts of arrangements.
I convinced him a little, maybe.
Or did you?
I did.
Indeed, you are quite a interesting catch, I'm sure, to turn his eye.
Thank you.
It takes such a thing at times. I found long ago that my type would not catch Swift's eye, and therefore, you know. Oh, it's perfectly fine. We Tabaxi have a very, racist feeling for these type of things. But, Swift is one of the good ones. Take care
Go
of
on,
him.
though. What do you mean by that?
Well,
Like you said a racist, what?
voracious.
Oh, voracious. Like, sorry.
I am not used to speaking this common tongue.
That's
Where I'm from, I am surrounded by my people.
Oh, Swift, she's wonderful. How dare you?
Oh, Swift, have you been telling tales? No, my dear Lady Claw, I have been not. Your leg has been pulled on this one. It is very pleasing to see you again. Yes, likewise. What can I do for you fine people on this evening?
Oh, well, initially I wanted to say hello, but now I feel like if you'd like to join us at any point, the invitation is there. Clearly you do have a history, and...
Well, that would be lovely. I am seated. Are we seated in the same area?
Yes.
Excellent. I am seated at this table over here. Do you wish to join me? I think they are about to start serving the food.
I would love to.
So the three make your way over to where you're being seated. Because there's no persuasion needed there because she knows Swift and there's no deceit there, so you just want to sit with her, so it's fine. So you make your way over to a table, you take your seats. You notice as you take your seats, there are two gnomes that go to sit in the same area, and they're looking at their invitations going, "Excuse me, this isn't... Well, it says on our invitation, this is our seats."
What does it say? C3, C4? Oh, that's that table over there. They changed it around slightly.
Roll a persuasion.
I have a +7 to persuasion. We're okay, I hope. 12.
Right, okay, Alistair, we better go check over here, I suppose. This is where we put us. They always treat us gnomes badly. I mean, we're only the top jewelers in the land, and yes, they're putting us at the back tables. It's bloody disgraceful, is what I say.
No, it's dreadful.
I'm gonna complain to somebody. Come on, Alistair.
Absolutely.
Alistair is just like, whatever, and is moving with the other gnome as they go across to where your initial seats
I
are.
want me and Darren to be their table mate.
Funnily enough, you are. Because on your invitation you have set seats, and your seats are generally put together.
Put all
So
of us at the back.
yeah, no, you're at the table. It's that table at the wedding where they put the unwanted relations.
Hang on, what? I'm always on the back table and I go to.
With the next to the kids' table. What was I going to say? Yes. So you move over. You're now sitting with the Lady Claw, and you two are still at the bar. What do you want to do?
Do you want to sit with Loran and those guys, or do you want to...
I'm going to go. I'm going to walk around. Could I ask you, fellow adventurer, to go talk to Loran and surreptitiously work out what you think of this person she's speaking to? I'm slightly. Yeah.
Lady Claw is female, obviously.
Yeah. Can you see who Loran is speaking to and see if you're worried at all? I'm going to take the long way around.
Sure. Okay.
So you're going to sit where your designated seats are.
Yeah. Talazar
you're-
is where?
Um,
Will Talazar?
Talazar has been
come
standing
around
at the
with
back
me?
of the room the entire time,
Okay.
and he's basically sussing everything out. Talazar then makes his way towards where the seating is, but he bumps into a fellow monk.
Oh, forget it.
And they are speaking.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want to go to Talazar?
I will go to Talazar by the windiest route possible. I'm going to see if there's anything I can see.
You move your way through the crowd, and there's multiple dignitaries having conversations about different things: taxes, levies, shipments, all these different types of things. You overhear a few things about, like, oh, I can't believe she did that. How dare she? So on and so forth. Has anyone seen the king? Nobody's seen the king in a while. Is he okay? Is he well? Is he ill? The last I heard, he was bedridden. So on and so forth. He is getting on in his years. And just general gossip as you go through the room. As you approach Talazar, I want you to roll a perception check.
Shit, son. It's not very good. It's not very good, thanks. No, I'm going to. I got an 8.
Hey,
It's not a natural 8.
you hear you hear the tail end of her conversation, and it's kind of like, yes, brother, I will discover that if it needs be, but right now my task at hand is this. And that's all you hear. And as you make your way close, the monk that they're speaking to, you don't recognise, looks up, sees you, and then turns on their heel and walks away.
Same livery as Talazar?
Well, Talazar is in his more. He got done up, but his colours are the same. They have the same colours. The other one is also in dress wear, but it looks more worn. It's definitely been worn to a couple of banquets.
Okay.
You've approached Talazar, and he turns. He's like, "Cody, excellent. I was just checking with my brother about some stuff at the Brotherhood and the campment. Just clearing the air on that one. I'm clear to go ahead and continue my quest with the group. Shall we take our seats? I think they're about to start serving."
Let's do it.
Okay. So you and Talazar make your way to the table. Everyone kind of takes their seats. Now, you're sitting next to the gnome. You've made your way over to Loran. Are you looking to get a spare seat next to them or next to Loran?
Yeah, I think I'd at least like to sit with Loran for the first course and, chill with him first of all and suss out this Lady Claw a little bit and see how Loran feels about her and how Swift feels about her.
As you approach, everyone's taking their seats. Lady Claw sits on the opposite side of the table to Loran and Swift, and they're in conversation as they sit down. You notice that the person that was seated next to Lady Swift kind of looks a bit unhappy.
Lady Claw.
Sorry, Lady Claw. Jeez. Lady Claw.
I'm a Lady Swift.
I hope there's not a Lady Swift. Home wrecking.
Yeah. So, the person that, when Lady Claw sits down, the person next to Lady Claw looks a bit at her a bit disdainfully. And kind of looks around at the person next to them and is like, you notice this as you walk up. What would you like to do?
Am I noticing Aratir approaching us?
Roll a perception check, because you're in conversation.
Okay. So Lady Claw hasn't made any kind of reaction to me approaching.
Nothing. Lady Claw is used to this type of
And the
behavior.
person sitting beside Lady Claw is the
It's a male.
human.
It's a male human. No,
Yeah.
they weren't with Lady Claw. These were people that were already at the table.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a male human and a female human. Very hoity-toity looking, long noses, sharp features. The man has got a slick black hair that tied back in a dodgy looking record label manager ponytail. The female, very similar in stature, very similar and looks very sharp features. Again, slick black hair, greasy almost, but they're very well dressed. She's covered in jewels. But even though they're very opulent looking, they still manage to look cheap. They don't look.
They're gaudy.
They're gaudy in some way, and they seem to be looking down on everyone.
Right.
But in particular, Lady Swift.
Lady Claw.
Lady Claw.
Okay.
Oh, I don't notice her at all, by the way.
Grant. Okay.
So I'm going to approach the table Is there still a spare seat near them?
No, that's
No.
they are in. So Lady Claw is kind of at the end of the table,
Yeah.
at the top part of the table. So she's
Yeah.
very close to the Viceroy's table.
Right.
She's right up there. Then you have these two people next to her, and then on the far
And
side there
Loran
you
and
have
Swift are
Loran
opposite
and
her.
Swift in the table that they ejected the gnomes from. That the gnomes have now gone to sit next to Owen and
Okay.
Norman.
I presumed you were going to, when I suggested you do this, I presumed you were going to do a chair back lean and a chat and a so I didn't think you'd be able to sit there.
Yeah. I'm going
Who knows
to...
what I would do?
I'm going to interrupt Loran.
Yeah,
But nicely.
yeah. As nice as a 6.5 foot tall orc.
Yeah, but me and Loran
But you're actually.
Archie and Loran
A
are
lot of
good
people are
chums.
giving you a wide berth because some of them aren't really. When they give you a half look, they think you're Kingsguard.
Yeah.
So, but there are no half orc Kingsguards. That's why they give a kind of a double take.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Loran, how's it going?
Ah, yes, quite. Give me one. Just excuse me. Talk over here. Yes.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I kind of like just usher. It's like just over this way.
Who is that striking looking woman that you're sitting with?
Oh, Moxie. Yeah, she's really nice, isn't she?
She's unreal.
I know. She's really cool. She's like merchant guild thing.
Cool.
Yeah. She's really exciting.
Friend of Swift's?
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to know each other. She's apparently she doesn't come around that often, and I don't know, just catching up.
And what's the deal with the couple beside her?
No idea. Don't know they are. A little dirty. Like a little. They should bathe. Maybe Norman knows them.
Slam! She's slamming everyone! Oh, the shade of it all. They don't look too happy either.
No, but I don't know if any one of these parties is really happy. Everyone pretending to be someone else at these things.
This is true. So you guys are happy sitting here and hanging out
Oh
here?
yeah, we're good.
I think the rest of the party are over far end. over
Oh
there.
yeah, it's
They're
just.
coding.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, you guys are great, and it's just.
Oh my
But-
god.
I kind of have a thing going on here, and you just kind of cramp my whole, you know.
Style.
Yeah. No offense, just a lot of you are horribly uncoordinated. Not you, you're very stealthy.
Well,
good.
you and also you taught me how to waltz yesterday, so
That's
you're
true.
true.
Yes.
Okay. So, what do you think of Lady Claw?
She seems secretive. Deceptive, but
Really?
oh, definitely. You get loads of people at these things that are like proper, like got something else going on, not on the level.
as you're speaking, you just hear.
This is quietly, by the way.
Obviously, yeah.
She's a bit weird.
As you were having your conversation, you hear a loud dong.
Dinner is served. Please, everyone, take your seats for the banquet.
Okay, look, I am gonna go sit with the rest of the guys. I will catch up with you maybe after dinner. I'm starving.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll see you after, okay?
Okay, mind yourself. Enjoy.
Yeah,
Have fun.
bye.
I'm gonna make my way over to the guys.
You're making your way back over to the
our
table.
actual
When
seats.
Aratir gets to me, she fills me in on the nothing that she found out.
Yeah.
And then I toss my eyes up at us having the best man on the job. Because, I mean, what is Loran? She's not going to look for he's not going to look for ulterior motives in anything
You
anybody's
don't know that.
Oh, Cody, and you simple person.
Yeah, you sweet summer child. Right, as you're sitting at your table, the food is brought out. The first course is brought out, and it's a kind of a soupy mixture with meats.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
But it's like a kind of an orange coloured kind of bisque, but it's got like chunks of meat and stuff in it, very 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 well seasoned and stuff. And as you eat it, it's actually delicious.
Can I
It
just
is-
say I'm excited to see Norman eat?
Yeah.
Well, I was I'm putting
Yeah, but
I have no table
try to
manners
be proper.
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Sure.
So it is literally
Yeah, that's it.
head in.
Yeah.
That's fine. So Ogun is like, and then you suddenly realise why you've been put at the back table. He's just like,
They'd be jealous of how well I eat.
how clean the bowl is afterwards.
Yeah.
Bisky whiskers.
Norman, what are you doing at this point?
He just picks up the bowl and necks it in one.
Next to the bowl in one, just
Yeah.
vumps. like really
I'm
hot.
sure it's very hot. Yeah.
It's very hot,
But,
steaming. It's
yeah.
just like
Just like steam kind of coming out through like the thing. What are our new table neighbours like?
yeah, the gnomes.
Yeah.
The gnomes are sitting to your left, and they're not really too bothered with you because they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You get the idea that like unless they know who you are, they'll start to
They
interact.
seem private.
They're private enough, but one is speaking very loudly. The other one is keeping their voice. They're not really. They're just like. And one is like, Alistair, I cannot believe they've put us at the back table. It's disgraceful, carry on. I'm complaining to somebody. It's just insane. I requested the top table. I was told I would have the top table, and we have given so much to this kingdom. We have given so much to this king, and we are being treated with so little respect. It's disgraceful.
Calm your tits, little man.
And like the gnome who by the way, when they went to the table, they got one of the guards to get a booster seat for them, because their seats they generally have to be boosted up because they're so small, and they're boosted up. They're kind of at normal height, but even sitting looking at you, they kind of look down. You're on the far side of the table next to Cody, looking kind of across at them, and they're like the quiet one is just like, and I was like, how dare you? You don't know who we are. I can speak my mind.
Yeah, but you've sat here and complained for the entire first course. It's a party, man.
This is the best table.
I surprised everybody, by the way, by not being orc-like and actually having impeccable table manners because my dad taught me.
So
Yeah.
proud of her. She's so
It's
good.
like, you do not know who we are. We are the Sprocket King family. We are the richest known family in Terrismore. We supply all of the jewels for the king's accoutrements. We supply all of the silver.
I want to speak across him at this stage because since we sat down at this table, I've been looking at the viceroy.
Yeah.
Just not in a very starey way, but just kind of watching to see what he does. And kind of absent-mindedly, I just want to like reach out and just put my hand on the gnome's face, over his mouth, just like. If you wish to complain, please do it quieter.
The
Thanks,
gnome,
Norman.
the quiet gnome actually looks really happy that you've.
And bear in mind what Norman's hand feels like.
I want to address that. The gnome is literally like, kind of like, you actually notice that they're getting sick, and the bisque that they've been eating is coming back up, and is kind of splittering down their things. And again, the quiet gnome, is actually looking quite happy at this. Cody.
I'm concealing my accent now. I turn around to the quiet now, and they say, "You're not at a bad table. We are important to people. We have resources. We are valued. So why don't you just enjoy the experience? And I have impeccable table manners too."
The quiet gnome kind of looks at you and now looks at the gnome. Do you still have your hand over the gnome's
No.
nose?
As soon as he started getting sick, I took it away and just wiped it in his hair.
And the gnome is like, "How dare you!" And he gets off his chair and kind of runs towards what you see a sign that has like a picture of a little throne.
Yeah.
And next to it is like, you know, male,
Yeah.
female, multi-species
Yeah.
sign next to it. And he's running off towards the toilet. The other gnome is like, "Thank you. I really appreciate that. He has been eating the ear off me all night, and I just want to have a nice time."
What's
I
your name?
assure you I didn't do
My
it.
name, I'm Jeff.
Hi Jeff, it's really nice to meet you. I'm married here.
He keeps calling me Alistair. That's my middle name, and I hate it. I'm not too fond of it either. He thinks Jeff is a real normal name, and I prefer Jeff to Alistair. It's just this whole family thing.
Jeff's a good, solid name, and if that's your preference, you should respect that.
He should. He's a bit of a dick.
I gathered that. Well, cheers, Jeff.
Cheers.
How's your night going, Jeff?
A lot better now. Thank you.
You mentioned
Oh no, why is he talking again? Come on.
again, like not looking at him as I address him, but it's like you mentioned your family is one of the wealthy ones, yes?
So subtle.
Yeah, we're one of the wealthy families for sure.
Do you know when the Roy is coming?
The Roy.
The one in charge of that one. And I nodded the Viceroy.
Viceroy. Right.
The Roy. I got that straight away.
Norman's got a norm.
Well, the Viceroy is the man below the king.
Yes, the king. He's not here.
No, this is not the king. Won't be at this banquet. This is just the Viceroy hosts this banquet, and the king is nobody's seen the king in a while.
I thought we were meant to talk.
Now
about
I
the
look at him. Interesting. A while,
Well,
you say?
there was a public appearance before the celebrations.
Seems like a Peaky Blinder.
There was a public appearance before the celebrations, and
When?
that was about 2 weeks ago. But he was up on a balcony. I didn't see him myself. I wasn't around, but people talked about the fact that they said it was the king. But you know, people talk. They make things up. I don't believe it. He's been a good king. He's made us a good kingdom.
We've
Everyone's
stopped
straight-
with the bit I'm interested in now.
all right.
Can I ask you a question?
When?
Yeah.
Is he going to eat that? I'm talking to his ball and wander over. I'll stand on the table and walk over and start eating it.
I just chuckle.
Jeff, I apologise for my companions. You may want to concentrate on me and me mate here. It's where you're going to get sense, to be honest. How are you enjoying your evening so far?
It's definitely been more interesting than I thought it was going to be.
If you were going to talk to the Viceroy at any point, when would you choose to do it?
The Viceroy, well, he'll be holding court with the traders after the banquet. That's the plan. So there's basically the banquet, and in the banquet he's going to make a speech, and then after the speech we have a dinner, and then the plan is I think he's going to talk to the representatives of the guilds and the heads of commerce, and he'll speak to anyone. He has like an open forum.
Jeff, thanks for that. That's great. Arthur. Chin.
Oh, I thought we had to go up and talk to him now. Oh, that makes more sense.
No, have your dinner first, Owen.
So
I'm on my second one now.
the second course is brought out and you're eating away, and at the top of the room you hear trumpets, and the Viceroy stands up and he moves to a small podium that was brought out and put on the right side, and he unfurls a large note of sorts, and then unfurls it a bit more, and it kind of drapes down off the podium. He's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the banquet of the celebrations of the centenary of King Gregor's reign. All of the people in this room are here because you made it possible for Terrismore to be the kingdom that we all know and love. We have gotten to this day because of you." And he starts to go on and on about merchant guilds and the investments and taxes and all this type of stuff. And as he's doing that, you hear a noise from the kitchen off to the back. Because you're at the back, you're next to where the kitchen entry is. I want you all to roll a perception check.
Rub it in, why don't you?
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Whoa!
Okay.
3.
3. Okay, we're gonna do a
13.
group. We're gonna do a group perception. This
4.
one. 4. 13, 20, natural 20.
20.
You were able to ascertain from your perception checks that there is a kerfuffle happening in the kitchen, but you're not 100% sure what it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we did perception checks.
Yeah.
You heard something going on in the kitchen.
We did a break, guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah, for anyone that's wondering what's going on, we had a quick break, and I still forgot to get Kim the stats on her new cloak ability, but I'll do that for the next game.
It's grand.
So, basically, just you roll an attack and it's D4. But, okay, so you hear kerfuffle from the kitchen, you've no idea what it is, a few pots and pans dropping, a few raised voices, so on and so forth.
Oh, they must have guards in the kitchen.
The banquet continues on, and we're going to switch to Loran and Swift and Lady Claw.
Alright.
You are discussing the ins and outs of the kind of goings on in the city of Terrismore.
Loran's asking about like boring things like trade routes between his home city and
Sure.
here and
Well, Lady Claw is, because she's no Swift and she's willing to divulge multiple things, and she's not really being coy about it. She's like, she doesn't care about the people around her, and like she's top table. And, like she's right next to where the Viceroy is. And the Viceroy was just about to give a speech, which we did before the break. So he got up and was there and was about to launch into his speech. And as he's speaking, it's going on and on and on. And he's talking about trade routes and stuff like that. And as he's talking about each individual trade route, Lady Claw's filling you in on some of the guild stuff.
Okay.
The mining guild are said to be skimming off the top end, pumping money into development for personal war machines.
Oh.
The Crown turns a blind eye for these hidden operations because their operatives infiltrate the mining guild and ascertain themselves to be, basically get these plans and blueprints for themselves, which make their way back into the Viceroy's care.
Right.
So, as much as the mining guild think they're arming themselves, they're also arming the Kingsguard, the actual city guard, the armies of King Gregor.
Okay.
As much as he is a peaceful king, he is a well-equipped king.
I assume this isn't common knowledge.
Everyone knows about it, but nobody knows about it, if you know what I mean.
I get you.
And we, of the Merchant Guild of Hendrix Point, we have our own ways of attaining certain elements of this information as well.
And as head of the Merchants Guild, would it not be your place, say, to pull this up to?
No. It is a well-oiled machine of deception. A thing that nobody wants to admit is happening, but everyone knows it is happening because it is for everyone's benefit.
I get you, but if it's for everyone's benefit, why isn't it? Why doesn't it become more of a legal practice? If you get me.
It's legally illegal, if you know what I mean. They are doing it under the table, but for everyone's benefit.
Right.
The Viceroy's speech drones on and he keeps, he gets to a point where he's talking about the future. And the kingdom will go forth powerful and strengthened by the leadership of King Gregor for what he is, a truly powerful and rightful king. He is a genius when it comes to economic sanctions and taxing, the ability to tax you people and also leave you with your wealth intact, but also keep the common folk calm and well paid. And not so much, I don't want to use the word docile, but they're not going to revolt anytime soon because they are comfortable. Everyone is comfortable, and that is what we are here to celebrate tonight. Everybody is comfortable with what they have, and you people have made that possible. King Gregor thanks you, and I thank you. As he comes to the end of his speech, there's more noise from the kitchen. And the stained glass windows that adorn the room all shatter inwards.
I'm just trying to have dinner.
Ropes come in.
The entertainment has arrived.
Ropes come in. You hear shouting. The Kingsguard that were in the room all turn. Cirrus at the top of the room basically bolts into action. You see her turn and see the room. Pouring in on ropes are dark clothed figures, all wearing kind of darker, just basically dark robes. Their faces are half covered, they're all bearing swords, they're all bearing spears. They're rappelling down, there's arrows flitting in, some of the Kingsguard are getting hit, some of the guests are getting hit. It basically just breaks out into chaos. Milling down into the room, they come down on the ropes and they start going for the closest people that they see. Next to the back table where you guys are, two of them land in front of you as two more come down. Up where Loran is, on the opposite side of the table, because you're kind of at the centre of the room facing the wall where the window is, two more come down. And two more are following behind them. And this is the same all along. The two closest to all of you at the back make towards your table, as the other two that come out make towards the other end of your table. I need everyone to roll initiative.
7.
Hey, okay.
Just take notes.
Oh, you're doing
I'm going to
it,
take
yeah.
notes of everyone
Yep.
now. I'm going to bring out. So we need.
Oh,
So-
the bag of mysteries.
Bag of mysteries.
First time ever.
It's
Or
full
make
of
things
boys.
like way
I'm going to make note of what you have, and I'll call for it now in a second.
Cool. I don't like this interruption to my dinner. I think rage can be
Very rude.
I'm starving.
Yeah, this
like,
is extremely like wow.
how rude.
I totally changed mode and was prepared to eat then talk.
I have like 40 pounds of raw meat to get back to before the end of the
Oh my god.
and I can't eat that. I have stuff to do to it.
Okay.
I
Well, I
think
took
may
care
have
of that
something
for
to
you.
tell you.
So we're gonna do 7 up
Kind of a
here.
little bit.
So we have Loran and Swift up here. We have everyone else down here, and we have these little fuckers,
Gobbos.
Gobbos. But they're representing. Yes, there are Gobbos. They do seem to be of goblin in stature that you see coming in.
Green-blooded bastards.
Yeah, you tell them our tier.
I'm only slightly green.
It's not easy being green.
Just
It's not
very.
easy being 6'5".
I imagine it's probably pretty easy.
Now.
Actually.
No, not
That'd
with
be
door
nice.
frames. are
Okay.
small.
True.
I've been to gigs like this.
Where's your board cam gone?
there.
We're gonna. I'm not gonna use that for this game. We're gonna set up an action count for the next session.
Yeah.
We're slowly but surely getting all of our parts together for this.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna roll initiative for
My
these
parts are
goblins.
fully into this game.
Is this Talazar looking swish back here, is it?
No, I haven't got a figure.
No, that is your boy.
Oh no! Chop his legs off.
I have legs.
You ain't my boy. Yeah, but not those glorious gams.
I think you'll find that Norman's legs
This
are
is gonna
pristine.
represent Talazar there.
He looks like a sexy horse.
Now, okay. So
All horses are sexy, so shame on you.
All right.
Is a cantrip an action?
Yes.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Yes.
Spoilers. I feel
says
like
here.
you're going to
Okay.
do
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna roll initiative for the goblins.
Oh no.
Okay, that's better. I went
Yeah,
literally went.
that first laugh was like, I'm going to say a 3.
I'm gonna say a natural 20.
All right.
No.
The second one was a natural 1.
I'm gonna need a camera on that.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, you don't
no.
trust the DM?
No, you trust your DM.
I trust my DM.
Do you know?
He will not steer us wrong.
Okay, right.
He absolutely
He
will
will, yeah.
fudge rolls when he needs to. It's okay. It's part
But we all do that.
Okay, so we have the gobbos, and the 2 goblins next to you guys got a natural 20.
All right.
Lovely. Need to have our tier.
So the next, the ones that, we got 20 to 15.
Yo, 17.
17.
Yo.
No.
15.
Good on.
So I got plus C1.
15.
Here, see,
Hogan.
so that-
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, your initiative.
15 to 10.
You've got us awesome.
11.
Oh.
11.
So don't forget that. Hang on,
Around
wait.
here.
What was
Yeah.
that?
I got 20. Not
So
natural.
26.
Non natural. So you
Top
got
20.
So you got 20, not natural.
Not
okay,
natural.
that's fine. So you're up there with the gobbos. They're natural 20, so you're gonna come after them.
Right.
That's
So
the goblins.
yeah.
the goblins.
So then we have our tier 11.
Talazar.
plus 2.
Oh,
well,
sorry,
I'm
so
gonna roll-
it's 13. Not that it makes much difference.
Talzar got 7, so you got 13.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Slow ass Talazar.
That's fine.
I also
Um,
got 7.
Poor
Slow ass
Talazar's
Laurent.
been rolling dreadfully since the start of the
So
tournament.
we've got 10 to 5,
7.
7. So 7. Your dexterity. Talzar have a better dexterity than you, so he's before you and then yourself. There's one here as well.
Thank you, Rich. Just for to find out where spells.
And then Moran.
Let me see.
And I'm gonna roll for Swift.
Ah.
Swift got an 11, so Swift is after
Oh,
our.
Swift is doing something, I love it.
Yeah, he's a very useful date.
Yeah.
Okay,
Has been gonna
so
throw his cat.
these 2 goblins here are going to attack.
Gobbo.
They're gonna come in, and the closest one to them is Aratir. Actually, no, Aratir is over here. Aratir is situated here, next to Codeine. And then we have Ogun here. And we have Norman. We have the goblin that's next to you, and he is just like, "Woo!" Jeff is just not
Imagine
happy, and then Talazar is next to Norman on the far side. So these 2 goblins are going to come in, and they're going to attack Norman. First one's going to attack Norman. It's a 14 to hit.
That'll do it.
Okay.
Can I ask a new question?
Sure.
What is the general perception of goblins in the world?
Perception. What,
No,
what people think of
Are
them.
they
yeah.
always bad?
Oh, that's not
Not
a new
always.
question.
They're not always bad, but these guys.
They just jump through the windows.
They're
shitty.
attacking, so
Yeah,
they're shit.
they're
But these
bad.
guys are dressed like you can't actually tell if they're goblins or not. They're just represented by goblins,
Okay.
but they are of a goblin stature, as in they're small. They're of goblin height. They're covered in
Okay, so
dark.
we don't know
things.
whether they're.
There is also, as you notice,
Fighting
as
for
people
good or
come in
bad.
through the windows, there's more than just these small. There's one other creature of that stature as well, that size, that is
Okay.
with them as well.
Okay.
Okay, so, so that hits 1d6 plus 2. You take 7 points of slashing damage,
Okay.
and then the second goblin is going to come in and take a hit at Talazar. So just to get up Talazar's character sheet here. Apologies, folks. Okay. So they see is 16, and that's a 12. So that misses. He's like, whoosh, and he just Talazar sidesteps out of the way. So that misses. So now we are into Cody.
I'm here. Got some gobos. They're slashing Norman, which is, irksome if not.
Careful,
So
Kim.
they're not here for good. So I'm going to swash their buckles if I could.
So what are you attacking them with? How are you attacking them?
I am going to might try my cloak.
You're going to switch your cloak.
Might swish my cloak.
Okay, so you basically reach down and you activate the button on the cloak and
Yeah.
you swish.
And swish.
As you swish up, you notice that a seam opens up at the bottom of the cloak and a hail of pins. They look like just silver sharp needles just and fly out towards the goblin. So roll for attack.
Roll for attack, which is 20.
You roll a d20.
Yep. And I got 9. And what do I add to that? Anything?
It's a +2, so you got 11.
Plus 2,
total.
so I got 11.
Actually, no, it's what?
That'd be dexterity.
Dexterity. Sorry,
Dex,
what's
so
your
add
dex?
5. So
Add 5.
14.
14 just misses.
No,
as you
come
flick
on.
up, needles go out when the goblin sees it, and it just into the wall. So that's your action. Do you want to move?
Yeah, I'll move. I am going
Just
to.
move yourself into where you want to go.
Okay.
What's your movement?
30 feet.
30
Stand
feet,
it there?
5, 10, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make it there, you make it there. That's fine. And so you're flanking behind the goblin. You're behind the goblin at this point. Okay, that's grand. Next, it is into Norman.
Me, I believe.
Yeah.
First thing I want to do, can I suppose it'll be a perception check, but any iconography to do with the dark grasp?
On their main garb that you can see, it's
Anything
just
to do with
dark.
it.
It's just
Just
like
dark.
just dark.
That's one of the words.
Yeah, it's basically like dark material. Now you notice that they're not all wearing black. Some of them wearing dark
Yeah.
navies. They're a mismatch of materials.
Yeah.
But they're all heavy dark materials, so they're covering themselves up so
Okay.
people can't identify what they are.
Okay. Interesting. Well then, in that case, we are going to want to take one of them alive. But not the one who stabbed me. He's in trouble. Yeah, I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Yep.
Cool.
That is a 21.
That definitely hits. That definitely hits.
So,
It's like it just catches the goblin.
and that is 12 damage.
12 damage.
Like this, plus 3. Yeah, 12. That damage.
Hang on a second.
He's laughing!
The Eldritch Blast goes, catches the goblin next to you, square in the head, close range, and the head just goes up against the wall. The body just goes and drops.
Does any of it get on me?
It splatters around, yeah. Some of it gets onto you and against the wall,
Excellent.
against some of the guests around that are fleeing in terror. as these
He's
creatures
so happy.
descend into the building. There doesn't seem to be any more coming in. There's roughly about 10 of these assailants in the room, and they are being like the Kingsguard are getting to them and trying to attack some of them. And some of them will turn their focus on you. You notice, you look up and you see Ceres, the captain of the Kingsguard, has literally just picked up one of them and pummeled it in the face, and it's out, gone. And she just throws it to the ground and is moving on to another one. And she's just systematically moving through the crowd and aiming for them. But the throngs of people are trying to rush out into the main entrance. Some of them have moved up towards the Viceroy. And the Viceroy is just standing there looking at all this unfurled, still holding his speech in disbelief. He's like, oh. So the goblin, you've killed one of them. They're like, his head is gore against the wall. Next up that's the end of Norman's go. You're good to go?
Do I want to move? Actually, which gobbo is gone?
The one right in front of you, so just move him down.
This one
Knock
here?
him down, yeah, he's gone. Gobble's gone.
And I am here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to actually take a step closer off the square I was on to the goblin.
Yeah.
Just like with the gore kind of strewn remains of the one that I have on me, just like run a hand through it and just like smear it across my face.
Run an intimidation
Just
check.
glare.
Roll an intimidation check.
But if I was going for intimidate, then in that case I'm also going to telepathically speak to him. Because I was just doing that as a thing.
Is that an action?
I can do it whenever I want it.
It's not an action.
No,
it's
it's a free thing that I can do.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to telepathically speak to him and just going to say, if you do not wish to be among your companions, I suggest you throw down your weapons. And I will roll intimidate, which for me is a +5.
Woohoo!
That is a 23.
Wow. The goblin proceeds to shit himself. And he's like grabbing the side of his head, and the stench hits you. You just see the stain.
Doesn't hit me.
The stench hits the air, and it's stain across his trousers, and it just like drops the weapon like the clink, 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 and it's like, and you see him trying to clamber back up the rope out the window that they just came in. So that's that goblin has run away in fear. Because there was no save he could have made on that for 23. So you've dispatched 2 of those pretty quickly. Next we are moving into Aratir. You do have the 2 others that have landed just in front there.
These guys?
Those guys there, they're a bit out of... What's your movement?
It's like 50 feet or something.
Okay. It's not too bad.
Yeah, our is really fast.
Yeah, will I make it over?
So each square is 5 feet. So...
And you can move
Can I move
diagonally.
diagonally?
Yeah, you can.
You're grand. You're grand, so...
Okay. You're really after pissing me off. I was really enjoying my dinner, so I would like to rage, please.
You're rushing.
I do not have any weapons with me, or our team does not have any weapons, but I'm going to do an unarmed strike.
Okay.
And my intention is, guys, we're not necessarily going to know what their plan is from your man up top, or from that very impressive looking head of the guards.
Yes.
I reckon we knock one of these on the head.
Are you saying this? You shouting this? As
Yeah.
you're running up to her, like,
I'm like, I'm gonna knock this guy in the head and give him to Norman!
I just rubbed my hands together.
the team is jumping. Okay, so roll for
Norman
attack.
Oh, you rolled the wrong dice.
Oh, I wrong
D20,
dice.
D20.
Yeah.
You're safe.
That's better.
That looks better.
13 plus dexterity.
You're raging as well.
15, 16, 17, 18.
That definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Which is D4.
Knock his fucking head off.
D4 plus 5.
Plus 3.
3. So 8 plus
So 11.
3, 11.
11. You hit for 11 points of damage.
Yeah. Did I accidentally kill him?
You've knocked him out.
Yay! That's
It's
good.
literally you've reduced him right down to 0.
Excellent.
It was
Here,
just
Norman,
like
catch.
you literally you just see Aratir run up and it's just like and he's like he falls just like literally you hear a crack.
He's out, right?
Yeah.
Can we stick him in my bag of holding? Because I've had that hid under my skirts. Just even for a little bit.
Only for a little bit,
Loose.
yeah. For a little
no
bit, you
air.
can survive.
There's
You
no
can
air
only-
in the bag.
you can only
I
survive.
forget a while. Hang on, because I haven't carried
I thought it said you could survive for a minute or 2.
And as far as we're aware,
You can only survive for...
Breathing creatures inside the bag Can survive up to a number of minutes equal to 10 divided by the number of creatures.
So 10
After
minutes at most.
So we're good.
Minimum 1 minute. After which time they begin to suffocate. Okay, maybe not. Who has big enough skirts that we can hide them under? Just because I don't want to have to.
I have my robes.
I'm
Stick 'em in your
pretty
robes.
tall, I got a big cloak. Yeah, God knows what I have under them.
At the moment right now, there's chaos happening.
There's chaos.
So you've knocked this dude out. You've picked him up. You literally go, "Oi, Norman!" and it's basically you pick it up. You knock him out. You just hoof him like you
Apparently I'm a
punch him.
Brit,
You yeet him through the air, and he just lands at Norman's feet. But when you thumped him in the face, you just heard this loud cracking noise, and his nose.
Oh!
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Assuming he lives.
Assuming you live. So is that the end of your go? Next up is Swift.
Oh!
So
Let's get Swifty.
let's get.
Let's see what this boy's capable of.
Okay.
He might spill his martini.
Or his cat.
Or he might spill his cat. Well, the cat, it belongs to Lady Claude, does it?
No, the cat
Cat
is
is-
familiar.
he's had it from day one.
Of course,
It's
of
familiar.
course, of course.
So-
Or it could be a pet cat that he's trained well.
Yeah, so
Swift
I should be like,
Swift
hey,
st-
you're good,
stands
that guy.
basically stands bolt upright from the table as soon as this happens, and he kind of moves in front of Loran to protect, but moves kind of adjacent to Loran and gestures towards Lady Claw and just says, "Bartholomew, seek." The cat on his shoulder leaps, stands up on its things and leaps, and as it leaps through the air, it morphs and grows and becomes a giant black panther.
T'Challa's here, ready to go.
And he basically just points, and the panther just beelines for the nearest goblin. He gestures, and from his robe, a long blade just flicks and extends out.
Moran, check this out.
He flicks out a long blade, and it just extends. And you're like,
Yeah, boy.
and he basically leaps up on top of the table and then beelines for the other goblin next to him.
Okay.
So
one of them's got by the cat.
unfortunately, I don't have an elf figurine just yet, so it's basically boom, 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 and he's aiming for this guy here.
Yeah.
The cat, I don't have a figurine for that, but it's here. I do
Right.
have a character sheet for it.
Okay.
So, here's one.
You play something?
Moran, you might have nothing left to bother you at this table.
I'm fine with this.
No, there are more goblins in the room. You've only
Oh,
taken
yeah,
out a
okay.
few of them. It's
Yeah.
just so he moves in, and Swift is going to take a strike at the. It's not the goblin. It's a humanoid figure that he's going to strike out at. He's going to roll. It's a hit. Definitely hits. It's an 8. That's an 18 total. He has a rapier, which is 1d8 plus 4.
That's fair.
The d8s. 1d8 plus 4. No, it's cocked. 1d8 plus which is 8 points of damage to that character. Right, so it's 8 points of damage. So he's like, and as he's jumping through there, he's like slashing down, and it's like across this creature, and it just slashes across. The fabric flaps open, and there's a crimson splash against the ground, and it's like winces backwards. It's like ah! Here it wince. The panther then goes for the other goblin. Now go for that. It's a 14. It's 2, so 16. That hits, and then it's 1d6. And that is 8 points also to the goblin. And the panther just leaps in and just slashing out across the goblin, and again the armor again. Sorry, the cloth gets ripped, and it's like you just see the splashing of like greenish blood, and the goblin's like and it's like and the actual panther, it actually has 2 hits, 2 swipes. So the other one that definitely hits. It's a natural 19, and then. That's also another 8 points. Another slash, catches the goblin creature straight across the face. You just see it tearing, you hear it tearing your flesh, and it crits it up against the wall. The goblin drops dead. Okay, so that's one goblin down over there. Now we are into Talazar. Talazar is going to move up Talazar here is going to move up. And flurry of blows into guy.
Yeah, flurry of blows.
Yeah.
That was my nickname in college.
Okay, sorry. Multitasking with characters here.
He's got to attack first. Normally,
Sorry?
he has to attack first normally, then he does flurry blows.
Sorry, yeah, so he's attacking, and then he's doing flurry blows after. So it's just literally unarmed strike, or just a punch, and then he'll do flurry blows. So, Tom, you are with us.
What are you?
Tom, you are with us.
That's a crit one, isn't
That
it?
is a natural one.
Oh no!
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, so Talazar goes to move in and try and lock, but the goblin is so small and so dexterous, it's kind of swifts out of the way and just takes a swipe at his heel, and Tom takes 2 points of slashing damage to his ankle. He's like, ah! He moves back, and that's the end of his turn because he crit failed. Now we are into the goblins again. So that goblin is now going to take a slash at Talazar. That is a 19. That hits. And you see now, we have, so that's 5, D6 plus 2. Oh my god. So that's 5 plus 2 slashing damage.
Tom's dead.
Oh
isn't
my
he?
god.
No, it's not that bad. It's
No, Tom's dead.
That's 13 points of damage to
Jesus.
him. So,
Ouch.
wow.
Rip.
So let's put this in. In you go. Okay, like the goblin comes round as he slashes at his heel. He then takes a stab upwards, and Talazar gets it right in the kidneys, and just like twists
Oh,
it.
you need those to pee.
Oh god!
Real bad. Like it's going. You hear Talazar going. The goblin's like. And we are now into Loran.
Okay. I would like to cast Vicious Mockery
Okay.
on one of the boys in front of me. Boom, 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 boom.
There's actually only
Which one did they
there's
oh,
only
yeah,
one
he's
that can't
back
kill
up.
this
Oh,
guy.
can't kill that guy.
No.
So he needs to make a saving throw, a wisdom saving throw, and beat 13.
Good luck with that. Okay. Yeah. Well, see how I roll. 70.
No, well, he's not impressed with my insults, I guess.
What did you say to him?
I just looked up Google like great insults about goblins, but they're all shit. So
Your mother was
maybe
a
wasn't
monster,
too
your
good.
father smelled of elderberries.
I was thinking that.
Yeah. Your
I
mother
felt
was
Tom
smell
good
lower.
again.
I think he just panicked, went, "You're small."
It's like.
Oh
That's all you
shit.
get from the goblin. Do you want to do anything else?
No, because that's one action, and
Yeah.
I'm
Do
good
you
for
want to
now.
move? You're alright.
I'm good around.
Grant. Okay. Now top of the round. Those goblins are. Those two goblins are dead. So it's in the codeine. We have that one goblin left there beside you.
Short boat.
As you noticed, because the two goblins are dead, there are two more goblins moving in from this side as they come in. I keep saying
He's
goblins. but
stepping
they're-
over Talazar.
They're coming in. They're coming in closer here. They're not just that. They've come in through the window, and they are.
Protected by silver.
They're coming towards you as they're like through the people. Like so, it's a case of this. The place is kind of emptied a bit now, man. It's more people just kind of stuck at the back. It's yourself and the Kingsguard have kind of discerned to dispatch these. The Kingsguard are getting in there and not taking in a few. And you notice that Ceres has moved forward, and there's you can see that she is known by the trail of the dead. You know,
Right.
you just see the trail of goblin and humanoid bodies that she's left, and you're kind of getting to the end of what has come in and tried to upset the banquet. So those two are moving towards you. They're closer to Talazar. So Codeine, what do you want to do?
I'm using a short bow.
Your short bow.
Yeah.
Who are you aiming at?
When I haven't gone at all.
Did you not go?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Let's see it.
Apologies, you were.
No, it's okay.
You should have said it. You were
No,
always
I
been
didn't
after
remember
the
the fault.
normal.
I was
I thought I
probably-
said you.
I was so engrossed. I'm kind of finishing, kind of going.
Apologies.
No, it's alright.
No.
What I'm gonna do is I'm kind of like I just walk towards that goblin. And
Yeah.
I just as I get like within 10 feet of him, I just let out this big, huge, horrible belch,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much my version of like poison spray. So
Poison-
Excellent.
Is that an attack roll or is that
it's
a
not.
constitution?
It's just this poison gas goes, or my
Can you direct it, or does it go in the
It's the way it works is it's 10 feet distance. It's instantaneous. It's one person, and they have to make a con save.
Con save.
Yeah, but it's pretty much I'm going. I'm bouncing in his face.
What's the DC?
Oh, it's my DC. It's 12.
12. He failed.
Oh,
So what's the damage?
it's the
1d12.
1d12 poison damage. So take 4.
4 points of damage.
And some of the
on the
food
goblin
they-
next to Talazar.
Yes.
Okay. As you spray, it kind of hits the back of the creature, and he's just like. You see, it starts to melt, and the fabric starts to burn away.
Sorry about that.
You do see roll a perception check.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Talazar's going to roll a perception
I
check.
got really well this time. That's an 18. I got plus.
Okay, you do notice that as the fabric melts away, there is other garments underneath there, and you catch a glimpse of black and red. So, that was Ogun's turn. We're going to go back to Cody was shooting her short bow at something. At that guy.
That guy.
One of those. What's the range on the short bow?
The range is 80.
80. Oh, yeah, that's
In
yeah.
brackets 320. What does that mean?
What?
Why does it have 320 in brackets?
It's 80 feet, so I don't know what to do. I'll have to look at it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you definitely within range. So roll for attack.
You don't want to move closer, you just want to use it.
Yeah, I just want to use it. I'm learning to stop going so close to people.
Ha!
Don't stand so. Okay, that's a natural 14 with an extra 5, isn't
That
it?
hits. That hits. Roll
Yeah.
for damage.
And roll for damage is 1d6 plus 3. 4. That's terrible.
4 points of damage. No, that's okay. The bow sticks in its side. It's like ah! It's looking hurt. It is looking hurt. It's like it's got burn damage on the side of its thing. You're starting to see the skin underneath as the acid kind of leaches away at the stuff. And
Okay.
it sticks in its side. It's like right in the ribs, and it's kind of winded a bit. But it has taken damage. It is hurt. Now we are into.
Can I do opportunity attacks or hides or?
You can hide if
anything?
you wish. You can also actually. Did you do sneak attack damage or not? Because he's flanking.
No.
Do sneak attack damage because he's flanking.
Okay,
an
what do I
ally.
do for that?
Yeah. Check it on your stats there. You should have sneak attack.
I do. Where would I find that? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
2d6 damage.
So roll 2d6 because he is flanking it.
6 and 6.
It took a while. Like it's like when you see somebody in a really cheesy gangster film where they get shot. And they're like, so it goes, and he's like, and he's stepping towards Talzar to swipe again, and he just goes, funk,
Come on, Barmere.
straight down, boom, gone.
Okay.
So that gobbo is now dead.
Gobble.
You two have the two coming towards you, and
Oh no, I think it was on your tongue.
No, that's the one I aimed at.
Ah, cool.
and they are going. Those two goblins in the roll of initiative, they're going after Ogun. So
Oh dear.
Okay.
I'm closer if you want to.
So,
Where are you?
That's me at the back, but I'm like 5 feet away from.
Norman, it's into you.
Right.
So into Norman now.
It's Norm.
Yeah.
Right.
We have the two goblins that have now moved up, and they're now flanking Talazar.
2 gobos. Alright. Naomi, you're kind of close.
Over there.
No, I mean you yourself are close to the map.
He did
Right.
say Naomi as
Well,
opposed to
yeah.
Iran.
Could you move me 1 up diagonally? 1 more. Perfect. Thank you. Just to get a clean shot so I'm not like aiming at anyone else. I'm going to Eldritch Blast the one in front of Talazar.
Grant, lovely. Okay, so roll for hit. Roll for attacking.
Oh, that's not going to hit.
What did you get?
An 8.
Yeah, that's not gonna hit it. With this careers past, hits the wall, splinters. The rest, the only ones now left in the room after the Kingsguard have cleaned them out are the ones that you guys are now fighting. The Kingsguard are turning to see that you guys seem to be taking control of the situation, so it's all good. So they're going to let you continue to fight. They're kind of corralling people and moving them out of the banquet hall, keeping them safe. As the Viceroy is now back up, standing at the chair, with Cirrus is now kind of guarding him. You notice that she's holding it looks like an unconscious limp humanoid body in her hand, and it's just holding it there to her.
Dressed in their garb or like
dressed,
the party
it's dressed
garb?
in the black
Okay.
black outfit. One of the people that attacked.
Okay.
So you've tried to hit that person, and it's like boom, it
Yep.
splinters off the wall behind you. Do you want to do anything else?
No, I've moved. I've done that. That's fine.
Right, now we're into Owen.
Okay, I'm gonna, like those two goblins there,
Yeah.
I'm gonna move to the corner of the map, so they're just within 15 feet of me and no one else is. And then
Oh.
I'm gonna turn.
Now one of them
I was
right
thinking,
next to
I was thinking
Talazar.
it that way. Sorry, towards you. So towards you and then up that way. One more square and then one more square to you. So I would have done that diagonal, sorry.
Yeah,
There.
perfectly. Yeah, no, yeah,
So,
so Talazar's just outside the range.
Yeah.
yeah, so I
Well,
want to I think I might need to put it to 15 square.
Yeah.
It's a square.
And then-
You've got it.
Yeah, it's a square. And I'm just gonna cock my butt and let this horrible gaseous thing from the other
Look for
end
the gas,
that makes a
Zelda.
booming noise. And it's the equivalent of thunder wave, but as I said, I don't do anything
Oh,
wrong,
that's
so I'm
some
literally
good
like,
stuff, Demon.
So I'm like, ugh, you know, well, I don't know any better.
His butt
Like-
is facing that way.
Grand, yeah.
Ogun's letting rip.
Ogun just turns and bends over and just parts his cheeks.
Oh
Nice.
my god.
Like Moses parting the Red Sea.
So they
Describe intimately what we see.
Like he's still fully clothed. So all you see
I don't recall him wearing pants.
He was wearing,
Danny
I'm
got
wearing
it.
pants.
oh,
Oh, yeah,
yeah. Got a 3-piece suit as far as more.
I think it's about. I think
Okay,
it's
maybe I'll
about to
pull
be
down my
a
trousers
two-piece.
then. I would have had to.
You're gonna drop your bags.
I have to do this. This is. I can't hold it any longer.
Otherwise, it'll rip
You
through
know-
the trousers like.
Yeah, I know what these are.
No,
good
hang
stuff,
on.
apparently.
It's just gas. Like there's
Oh, no.
No,
it doesn't
this is-
matter.
This is okay. It's called thunder wave, but
He's basically letting rip with a
And there's a
large-
big sonic boom, and any little bits around me just get from the force
You know
of the
when
gas.
you know when the Hulk like claps.
Yeah,
So
so-
that's what he's doing, but it's
It's
clapping
that,
his
but
ass cheeks.
unfortunately,
So he, like you see Ogun just saunter over to the corner, kind of oblivious to everything else that's going around him. He drops trow, bends
Unreal.
over, reaches up, parts his butt cheeks,
Nice.
and this cacophonous sound just starts to echo through the chamber. Roll.
No, this is it's the same.
Actually, this is
They
the
have to. It's the same. They have to, the two of them just have to make a con save, and it's I think it's DC. Where is it now?
12.
Do you see?
12. Yeah, it's just 12. Unfortunately.
19.
Oh shit.
Well, it's
So-
the two of them are affected. Though.
Literally. So the
Yeah.
noise just out of the room.
Not to be a stickler for the rules,
Oh.
but you do have to take one each.
actually.
They're both.
Two.
What?
Was that 2 dice?
That was one dice.
You have to
There's
take one
the two of
each.
them. There's two.
2.
No, it's alright.
So he fails.
Oh, okay.
So the one closest to Talazar passes.
Because I really want Darren to kill someone by farting off him.
Yeah.
He's
The
okay.
one away from him. So the bong noise comes out, like echoes around the chamber, and the first guy is so kind of aimed to go for Talazar. He's like,
It's not the damage, it's the fact that he also, because of the force of the blow, gets pushed 10 feet.
so moving 2 squares. So you alright?
Literally.
Oh no, it's the funniest thing I've ever done. I roll shit though, he takes 5.
You literally roll shit. Yeah.
I literally roll shit.
Oh, not
I don't
literally.
care.
Not literally. I hope.
Yeah.
I only got 5 on 2d8. Oh god.
5 points of damage.
5 points
He
down.
gets knocked back. The force hits him. The smell hits everyone else, and it's just like. And he kind of stumbles a bit. He's like, ah! So is that the end of your go?
Well, just to let you know that this is audible for about 300 feet.
We cut to.
300 feet.
We cut to the gates of the district, of the King's district, and there's a guard standing there, and he just like. He just turns to the guard beside him. He's like, "She." Turns to the guard beside him. He's like, "Is that you?" Back to the action.
D&D, the family podcast. Only the classiest of human
Only the
here.
classiest.
Thunderfart.
Thunderfarts.
Thunderfarts. Argo.
You've been Thunder. Next, we're into Arathir.
Artir. Okay, so I'm still raging.
You're
Raging.
yeah.
Raging. Raging.
Fucking raging.
So this guy is still knocking around, right? I'm over here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. This is going to
I'm
be
just
bad.
gonna go with.
And it's again, it's unarmed strike, but you're raging.
But I'm raging, so it'll be a plus.
It's 8 as far as I know.
Yeah.
At the moment.
That's D20, right?
Yeah.
D20 to hit, and then you roll your damage off.
12 plus 8.
Yeah.
That hits. Roll damage.
Roll damage, which
8
is
again. D4 plus 8. Again.
Well, 9.
9.
Still
You
a lot.
like, run. You come down on the side of the goblin's head. It's like, and it kind of stumbles a bit. It's like, and just turns. And it's like, whoa, the size of this creature. Is that the end of your go?
Because I changed my armor, does my armor strike attack not work anymore?
On this particular set of armor, your spike attack will not work.
Okay.
Your swag attack would work.
Swag attack, yeah, swag attack. So that was 9 points of damage, wasn't it?
That was.
Yeah, Grant, okay. He's looking dazed and hurt. He's like, well, what you can tell of it is kind of like, oh, he's staggering a bit. Now we are into Swift. So Swift is going to take a swipe at the guy in front of him. That is a 4. He misses. So it comes down, the creature, whoever it is, the humanoid, steps out of the way, and it's just like, ha ha, screw you, buddy. It's just like, damn you. Then it's into Bartholomew. 2 attacks on the other goblin. There is another goblin there, isn't there? Isn't there?
There's still one, yeah.
Yes.
That misses.
Bartholomew.
That hits.
Good stuff.
Bartholomew hits with 1 slashing attack. So it's.
Bartholomew, sure.
That Bartholomew.
Yeah, that's what he's been saying all along.
Bartholomew. That goblin takes 6 points of damage. So Bartholomew's like, misses with the first one, and then he's like slashes it again, hits the thing across the chest, and it takes 6 points. It's like reels back, 6 points of damage. Is crimson on the ground again. Bartholomew's claws are now just dripping with goo. And now we are in Talazar, reeling from the stab in the kidneys, just turns on the goblin in front of him and unarmed, like basically pummels. Holy shit! Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. I'm so sorry.
Was that a crit
I am
one?
sorry. No, it was a 3.
Tom.
Going again.
Tom.
Second attack.
Change those dice, Tom.
Oh my god. 4. And I'm trying to remember because I haven't really rolled monks before, but I think he can do 2 attacks and then flurry of blows if needs be. No, you have to land an attack to get flurry of blows. So both of them is like misses, and the goblin, even in its injured state, is kind of just ducking around. Talazar can't hear shit at the moment. His kidneys, the blade that sunk deep into his back was like it's like oozing blood now at this point. His robes, his new robes are all stained.
That's
Now
why his hits are off.
his hits are off because he's injured. Now we are into the goblin in front of Talazar, followed by the humanoid that's attacking Sprint. So the goblin is going to take. So you're actually there with Talazar as well, and you're on top of that goblin.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
There's also the goblin. The goblin is also behind Talazar as well. So the goblin at the front sees that Talazar is injured. Is going to go for easy prey. He's going to take a swipe. That was 15 that misses. So he swipes and Talazar manages to duck out of the way. And then the other goblin comes in behind Talazar and attacks again. Oh, that is a natural 20. I promised Tom that Talazar wouldn't die in this, so we see what they get. Natural 20. You rolled a 1, so 2 points of damage. So he's good. So he's alright.
He's gonna need some healing potions at the end of this.
Grant. Yeah, Talazar's looking pretty beat up.
Would there be anything worse than going down to a random goblin while you're not even here?
Yeah. Sorry, Tom. No.
Sorry, Tom.
It'll be fine.
We'll take care of your corpse.
And by take care of it, what do you mean? Take care of it?
You know
or
what
take care
I.
of
You
it?
He's
know
going
what
to put it
I
on the
mean.
meat pile.
Yeah, he's got a meatball going
And
on.
not
Right,
in the
so
room.
we are now into the humanoid creature that's attacking Swift. That's that's cocked actually. That's a natural 1. So it goes to swing. As it comes down, Swift just literally, to his name, just steps out of the way, snip, gracefully, and the blade just embeds itself in the ground. It's like, so, it's that. We are now into, we're into Loran.
Right, Loran, let's see it.
Can I make a perception check to see if it is just the goblins infiltrating or if there's a sign of anything more than that?
Sure, go ahead.
No, it's a 9.
Fine. Yeah, all you can see are like the bodies that are laid out. There's nobody else coming in through the top. And you do look over and see that the kitchen doors are now banged open and Kingsguard are coming out and they're pulling out what look like waiters. But if you notice, their actual waiter garb are pulled open and they're wearing dark robes underneath.
Not the waiters.
So they looks like they'd also tried to infiltrate.
We shouldn't have all had the beast.
Yes, that's been Mickey Beast.
I think my food was poisoned.
That's a whole separate
The
issue.
non-gobbo, is he in the mix there?
The non-gobble was there. Yeah, he's there.
Perfect, correct.
He's there, but he's still alive.
Where is the non-gobbo?
The non-gobble was before the Swift.
Oh, Swift's been taking care of him.
Swift's been fighting him.
Okay. Let me just see. Talasar is all the way down here, yeah?
Talazar's down there.
Can I move to him reasonably well in this turn?
What's your
So
movement?
30,
Yeah, you
5,
can.
10, 15, 20, 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get in range.
30?
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to touch him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, he's there.
You're right next to her.
Okay.
He's there.
Oh, mate.
Okay.
Don't we all want to be able to touch him?
I cast Cure Wounds on Talasar.
Awesome.
Probably needed.
Yeah, Loran is the bestest.
Yeah, I was going to request a song, but I'll take that.
D8 plus my spell.
That will not heal anyone.
He gets 5 HP, it's not
Alright,
too bad.
that's better than kicking the bollocks.
He really does not need to keep the bollocks at this point.
What was he down to?
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Okay, right.
He's got lots of owies.
So, is that your go? That's your go, right?
That's my goal.
We're top of the order then. We are back into coding.
Right. I am going to... Sorry. Ogun or Gobbo?
Ogun's over there, parts
That's
of the sheets.
Gobbo.
That's a gobbo. That gobbo is actually...
That's the one
That's the unconscious
That's,
gobbo.
that's a dead gobbo.
That's the gobbo that Norman has. He should be
That's,
next
yeah,
to
that's,
Norman.
that's the unconscious gobbo.
I've been dragging him by the scruff of his neck.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got
He's strapped to my leg.
2 gobbles here,
The non
a non-gobble up here, and a gobble.
Yeah.
Swift is taking care of business up there.
Yeah, he's good.
Swift has a panther.
Yeah.
He does. Okay, I'm gonna move to here and take. I'm gonna use my short bow.
Yeah, move your short bow, roll for hit, and then roll for damage. If you hit, then roll for damage.
Okay. Let me know if I rolled the right one.
Plus
11.
your
11.
dex.
Can I sneak
Plus your
it?
dex.
Plus your dex.
Plus my dex 11.
And your proficiency, so it's plus 5
Yeah,
as far as I know.
If it's 5 for your dex, then it hits. So,
It is, okay.
so roll for damage.
Roll for damage, 2 of these. 3 and 3. 6 plus 3 is 9. That took too long.
Who's that going to? Who's that into?
This guy.
This
This
gobble.
lad here, who's got, so that's
He's behind Talazar.
6, so 9 points of damage into him. He hasn't taken any hits yet. No, he has. How
He
many
took
damage
the
has
thunder-
he
he
taken the
took-
fart?
9. 5.
5 for the fart. No.
What did he
He's
take
looking
for the
pretty
fart?
beat up. He's looking haggard now, I have to say. He's looking pretty haggard. So we're Dogan.
Right, looking around, is there many goblins left?
There is the 2 goblins in front of Talazar and Arathir.
It's just
They're-
one in front. Oh no, one battered one.
One battered. They're both pretty hefty. One is hanging. He looks in rag order. The other one looks damaged. And then we have the one goblin over here. Actually, no, that goblin also was wiped out by Bartholomew. and then we have the humanoid that is fighting spirits.
Is Talasar looking like one more hit will kill him?
Talazar's been healed slightly
Has he?
but he's okay. So he's
still
stable.
injured?
He's looking good. He's looking
Okay,
alright.
cool.
He's looking alright. Not too bad. He's still bleeding slightly out of his back.
I know
Yeah.
it's
But you can't be
Darren's
there.
go, but could I communicate something to Ogun?
You can if you need to.
Okay,
Yes, I'll allow that.
Yeah, talking is a free action.
Yeah.
I'm like, could you just leave one conscious?
We have unconscious.
Could you leave one conscious?
Because Norman has one that's out.
Yeah.
We have one that's alive but not conscious.
I would like conscious if possible.
So what do you want to do? Loran has asked you of this, but what do you want to do?
I'm looking at you pleadingly too.
I'll hold my initiative then.
You're gonna hold your action.
Hold my action. So you're someone because
What are you holding? Are you holding your
I'm sorry. So I'm gonna move up and belch in one of the goblins' faces. But if someone can,
So you're gonna move
if
up.
someone can, well, because I'm not really that type of person where I can go and grab someone. You know, too kind of small.
You're
so-
actually roughly just slightly smaller than the goblin. You're not. You're very similar height to the goblin.
I will-
Goblins aren't buff.
I will try something I've never done. I will run and kind of try to jostle and knock the goblin to the ground
one, this
and
one?
pile on. So you get
Okay, it's, which one do you want to go for?
that one.
That one there?
Ah, yeah, fuck it, that one.
Sure.
Excuse me.
Okay.
I'm gonna run and jump and.
Grant, so I want you just to roll for a hit, and it's going to be an unarmed strike.
Right, I have one now. Yeah. Oh, cool. I can take that. That's 11.
11 total.
Yeah, I'm not trying to.
You run towards the goblin, and he sees you coming, and he sidesteps out of the way, and you miss, and you stumble kind of forward a bit, at least 5 feet. You're right next to the other. Yeah, there, bang on. Lovely. So you miss.
Oopsie.
Is that the end of your move? There's nothing else you can do.
Can I can't take a 5 foot step back or anything like that, no?
Yeah, you've got the movement, so yeah.
Yeah, cool. 5 foot step back is
Backwards,
kind of
away
like.
from.
That
Okay.
didn't
One
work.
square.
Right,
Yeah.
so now we are into Arathir.
Alright here, so this guy is still trouble and this guy is still trouble, right?
Yeah, but both of them are looking injured. One in particular on this side of Talazar is looking really hurt.
Sorry, this
That
guy.
guy.
Is that the
He's
one that
looking-
was farted upon?
It's the guy who was farted upon and also
When he's
shot.
off, yeah, but he's also the guy
Actually,
that
hang on. The guy
stabbed
that got
Talazar.
shot, did he not die?
No, he didn't.
No.
No, he did.
Did he?
The guy that got shot died, so he should be dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's one goblin left.
There's one goblin left.
Okay, so I guess unarmed strike.
5, please.
Oh, okay, so I'm just gonna grab him.
You can do.
I will allow for you to attempt to either grab him or if you wish to knock him out.
Yeah, you can do
Conscious, please.
non-lethal damage.
Ooh.
So you can just say, because you're fighting unarmed, you can just say my attack is non-lethal.
Okay, my attack is non-lethal and
Okay.
he's gonna
There you
remain
go.
conscious afterwards.
Grand, okay. So roll for attack.
So, come here you little green-blooded
Oh,
bastard.
Oh wow. Aratir playing the race card.
You are Rajay.
I'm
so
still raging.
Rajay.
Rage! So it was 8 plus 2 for
metal
dexterity,
voice,
10 plus 3 for rage, 13. And it's an unarmed strike.
yeah.
Which is
D4.
5 to hit.
Yeah.
And 4 bludgeoning.
Sorry. So what did you get on your attack roll?
Sorry, it was 13.
13 misses.
Oh.
The goblin somehow manages to, as you come down on top of your arm, comes down on top, he just ducks out of the way. Okay, do you want to move? Do you want to do anything else?
Can I shove him?
That was, you've already done your
Oh
action.
yeah, sorry,
attack,
I
so.
action. And I don't have any bonus attacks. I am.
So you can move away. If you move away from the goblin, you're disengaging. They get a free action against you to get to attack. If you're moving within the vicinity of the goblin, if you want to move behind him, he's not going to attack you. But if you try and move away from the goblin, he's going
I'm
to try
gonna
and attack
move
you.
behind him.
Actually, that would have come into play with Ogun, but Ogun was in motion, so he stepped out of your way, so you're okay. So that's it'll kind of counterbalance that. So that's what gets Arath here. We are now into Swift. He's going to take another stab at that prick over there. That is a. I don't think that hits. Don't think that hits. No, it just misses. Swift again. As your man's like trying to pull his blade out, Swift comes down. It's like thump. He moves out of the way. Swift's sword or rapier comes into the area that he was in a second ago and through the air. And then it's Bartholomew. He's going to attack. Actually, is that goblin still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other goblin was still there. Bartholomew's going to attack that. And with the first strike, misses. Second strike hits. Roll for damage. And that is 5 points of damage. He was at that. And
Is he still alive?
that guy is dead. Straight across the chest. Just you see flesh tear, and just you can see bone beneath gleaming. Just drops down. Green blood everywhere. The Bartholomew just turns at the humanoid figure that is still in combat with Swift. It is now into this goblin over here, who is pretty much in Upshur Creek, flanked by both Talazar and Arathir, and is like freaking out, but will take a swipe at Arathir. That it misses, it's a 5. So you managed to get out of the way. It kind of just glides off your lovely armor. So now it's into Talazar. Talazar is going to take this opportunity while it's distracted to punch it in the back of the head. Talazar will try and keep the goblin conscious. And that is a hit. And he's basically hitting it to disarm him, and he just drop your weapon as he hits him. The goblin then needs to roll. You see, I'm going to roll an intimidation check for Talazar. That is shit. That is a 4. So the goblin is just like
Tom.
he does get hit in the back of the head, so I'm going to roll damage for Talazar on an unarmed strike.
Oh, Tom.
See, I'm sorry, it's Talazar unarmed strike. While I pull up all these multiple different character sheets here. Talazar.
Talazar. His surname is Win, isn't it?
Talazar win.
Talazar Win. More like Talazar lose. Am I right?
So,
Fuck you, Tom.
1d4.
We love you.
3.
We do.
So 4 points of damage. He was intending for him to keep him conscious, so I'm going to reduce that to 2. I know we're fluffing this. And he drops his weapon because that would have killed him. He drops his weapon and he's kind of just freaking out. He's looking around and he's like, he just raises his hands in the air like that. That then goes into Loran.
Awesome. First things first, I kind of turn to Norman and just sort of like, quick chat.
I set up a telepathic link with Loran.
Sweet.
I can speak back to you telepathically, right?
Yeah, you call demon blood.
Alright, rude.
You got You got to remember at this stage, Norman doesn't know any of your names.
That's
I still have not learned them.
I'm just kind of looking relative to the map. It's like, would you mind taking maybe like 10 steps backwards? Just.
That seems agreeable.
Okay, good.
And yeah, I do. So
10 step backwards.
So I moved to like there.
Okay.
Awesome.
That goblin goes with you because you're dragging him.
Yes, I am pulling the goblin.
That's what they call it.
So this is the goblin here.
Pulling the goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still
Okay.
conscious.
Centering my point on him, I need everyone within a 15-foot radius of him to make a charisma saving throw and need to beat 13.
God.
Talazar.
D20.
Yeah.
Oh, 19! Yeah! Whatever the plus is.
Natural 19.
1, you don't get to add anything to your 1.
So what do we? Oh,
What do we add to it?
What do we?
Charisma.
Oh, charisma. So, oh god, okay,
Uniqueness,
minus 1.
nerve, and
So I get an
talent.
18.
22.
Oh shit.
Nice, nice.
Or Talazar. This is where you need to roll big, Tom.
Oh man.
Roll big or go home.
What do you get?
What do you do?
Natural 20.
Nice.
And the gobble?
The gobbo. Roll for the gobbo. I roll different dice with the gobbo.
It's quite low for the gobble.
4.
Yeah.
Excellent. You're all in my zone of truth.
Zone of truth.
And
So what
hang
does
on.
that mean for me if I roll
You
a 1?
cannot tell a lie.
Oh, that's okay.
I can't. I don't tend to
So,
know this anyway, so it's all right.
I just wanted to make an Arcana check to see if I could recognise what spell that was.
Sure.
I rolled a 20.
Natural 20.
No, but a 20.
Yeah.
So can I recognise what spell that
Of
is?
course you can, yeah.
I telepathically send back to Loran. Fine work, Tiefling. We should discuss this later.
So,
And then cut the telepathic.
there's still a
connection.
round of action happening here because Swift is still in combat with that other
Ah,
thing
No.
up there.
Non-go.
He's
But
fine.
the humanoid looks around, can see that he's in deep shit, and also drops his weapon and puts his hands up. And Swift is just like, yes, fine. Bartholomew, and the cat then the panther then just morphs back into a cat and leaps back up onto his shoulders
Rad.
and drapes itself across his tail, coming in. It's like, you made the right decision. The Kingsguard all go, boom, boom. They all bounce their spears off the ground and then move in towards everyone. The Viceroy moves down with Keris in front of him, keeping his arm back. She's still holding one of the unconscious goblin creatures in her hand. And as they move down towards you, they're all kind of flanking around now. And they're like, the Viceroy's like, what is the meaning of all this? How dare you interrupt the banquet celebrating the king?
I assume you are not talking to us.
No, we thank you for your assistance.
Oh, that's fine then.
We thank you for your assistance. The Kingsguard obviously had it in hand, as they always do.
Alright.
But we thank you for your assistance.
Very well.
Usually we don't see this type of action within these circles of diplomacy. But these...
Excuse me, may I just interrupt you there for one moment? No disrespect intended.
Yes.
We have 10 minutes to interrogate him, so if you all want to do it, you could do it now.
The captain of Garceris walks forward. She's like, I will speak to him. She drops the goblin down that she was holding, like, the body just drops, and walks straight up to this towering over this goblin, like 7 feet tall, looking down.
How tall are goblins in this setting?
You're talking about maybe 3, if
Nice.
3 feet,
Nice.
if that, 3 feet, depending on there's different heights within the. You can, if you look around, there are different heights of goblins.
I'm sure they vary around.
Giant woman.
Yeah. Oh, it's the big woman.
Yeah, the Swift has the humanoid pinned against the wall up at the other end with the blade up against his neck, and the humanoid's not going anywhere. And he goes, I also have this one here if you wish to interrogate him later.
Well, this one can't tell a lie, so he's going to be a bit more useful.
Interesting. So Keris goes up to him and is like, tell me why you decided to crash this banquet. What are you doing here? How dare you? And the goblin is like literally shitting himself. Just a puddle appears underneath. Like, we were sent by our lieutenant. He sent us down to disrupt the celebrations. We just wanted to cause a bit of anarchy. We were getting bored.
What's your lieutenant's name?
It's Lieutenant Sharpeye.
Does your because you mentioned a couple of them have had robes burned off, revealing red and black beneath. Do any of your lieutenants serve the group known as the Dark Grasp?
We. And he opens up his robes, and you see the dark grasp symbol on the inside.
Norman's grin is like ear to ear.
We are the dark grasp. We came from an encampment.
I just put a hand on Loran's shoulder. Good job.
We came from an encampment up north. We were laying siege to a town, and we are many, and we were laying siege, and we got bored because the town has been held by a small group, and we are too many, so we were left to the side, and the lieutenant sent us to cause some anarchy.
Wonderful.
How big is your entire encampment?
The encampment up north is 250 men when I left.
Oh dear.
And we numbered in 20. We lost a man in the woods coming down to an owlbear, and then we lost another one to his injuries afterwards.
Whereabouts did you see this owlbear?
In the woods between here and Breshton.
I turn to Aratir. So do you have a crush on anyone?
Asking the big question.
Geddes is just looking at him. I do not see
Grand,
this.
sweetie, this is not really the time for this.
You have to tell the
Yeah,
truth.
tell the truth.
Yeah, you have to tell me.
You're charmed.
That is the truth.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
Well, you have to answer my question.
Yeah.
Does it say?
Just have to the time.
Answer
doesn't
this
have to
in a
answer your
don't be
question.
questioning.
The truth.
You tell the truth, but if you think it's not time for this one, there's like it's not the time for this. Goblin, tell me, why come here? Why? Why now?
Well, we were getting bored, like I said. We were sitting around scratching our asses. We were doing nothing. All the spellcasters were trying to break through a shield wall. We were just stuck there scratching ourselves.
Shield wall.
Yeah, they've got...
Go on.
The town is protected.
Interesting.
Sorry, folks, we'll take a quick break there to change the battery in the camera. So, we are back. And now,
Hello.
we are still interrogating the goblin. There's still a good bit of time left on this. And the goblin has given you the information that there is an encampment of 250 plus dark grass besieging a city, the town of Breston to the north, which is a mining town. And the Viceroy is livid, and Keris is demanding explanation.
The Roy is going to be furious.
I'm Roy. I'm angry. So Swift has the other humanoid pinned against the wall with his blade to its neck, and also Bartholomew is guarding him as well.
I kind of turn to the party. I'm like, for the record, it just kind of hits in an area. I wasn't targeting all of you with the truth bomb. It just sort of is an effect.
I just quietly, telepathically shoot around just a much.
Are you in that area now at the moment?
Yeah, but it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we don't know that, so I'm like,
Lads, if you've never been on the end of Norman's side eye, please stay that way, because it's terrifying.
I don't understand. I only have 2 front-facing eyes
Um,
in this current form.
so the Viceroy spikes is like, right, okay. You're telling us that there is a siege on the town of Breston. Captain, we need to arrange something here. We need to arrange something. We cannot let Kingsguard go. The Kingsguard need to be here in the city. The celebrations are happening. Okay. Let me think. Captain, I need you to take these prisoners to the cells. I need all of you to follow me.
Yes.
And he beckons you out of the room, and he turns on his heels and he marches towards the back of the plinth where the chair is, and you see him go around. The captain kind of follows him from his like, Captain, you need to let me send a god with you. I do not know who these people are. He goes, fine, you accompany me. Get your gods to go to the cells. So Keris then follows. Are you all following?
yes.
You following the Viceroy?
I quickly lean in to the rest, along with Laran, I think, based on the talk there. I was like, I would urge all of us to remember that we actually don't work for this individual. So...
I appreciate that, but this might bring us closer to the king.
Oh,
that
no,
we can
I-
impart our-
I fully agree. I simply... If they are asking us to do anything, I simply don't believe we should do it for free.
Well, if we help them, then they might help us.
Precisely.
Yeah.
One back oils the other.
Yeah.
You see Keris is standing at the top of the plinth looking at you all.
Oh, fuck off, we're busy talking. I don't say that.
Fuck.
She goes, you must come with us now if you wish
Where
Yeah.
are you bringing us?
to the Viceroy's chambers.
Kinky.
As we're walking, you know Swift?
Yeah.
I want to walk over to him and I was like, how'd you do that thing with the making that into it big? Can that be done to anyone? As we're walking, just
It's enchanted, dear. It's an enchanted cat.
I-
It's
I-
gifted to me by a colleague.
so it's not
That's
something
not
that you can.
suspicious.
Oh, I want to be big. Something like that.
While we do pass those, I actually want to take like one of Swift's hands and one of like Lady Claw's hands. Like, oh, they're back.
Swift goes with you. Swift just goes with you. Lady,
still dragging
lady,
my own
lady of the
conscious
Claw has been escorted out of the room,
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Am I still dragging my unconscious goblin?
if you wish.
Yes.
As you drag the unconscious goblin up the top of the steps, Keris is like, is he alive? Sorry, Keris
I
is
would-
he alive?
I can only assume yes.
Then leave him with the gods.
Fine. And I just like toss him back down the steps.
is it? Do we have much? Is there a long walk ahead?
It's just you go through the back of the where the chair was, and there's curtains, and the curtains part, and there's a doorway
and the door leads into a corridor.
Okay.
And at the end of the corridor is a large oak door, and you see the Viceroy standing at the doorway, beckoning you forward.
Awesome. I hang back a few feet. Just chat to Norman very briefly.
Okay.
Like,
The rest of you are heading on? Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew if you were in that zone, they'd, get on you.
No. And I'm saying this telepathically. I'm not speaking out loud.
Right.
No. Loran. It's the first time I've said your name. I understand that much like myself, you are a creature clad in falsehood.
Ooh, well, that's...
And I kind of look at you. Oh, come now. We don't do that. And then I kind of like just reach out, put a hand on Loran's shoulder, just gently, and sort of like squeeze, not affectionately, but more just like reassuringly.
Weird.
That means something every time.
I'm just like, I feel as if you and I are something of a kindred spirit.
I just feel that people should be entitled to their secrets, and
As do I.
they don't seem to respect that.
I see the shoulder squeeze. Can I just...
Roll a perception check to see if you see the shoulder squeeze.
Oh. Okay, sorry.
Would you be looking behind you? Like, we were hanging back.
Yeah, I'm pretty looking behind me at all times. 17.
You do see the shoulder squeeze.
I'm gonna turn around to these two. Is there anything you need to tell us?
This is my lover.
Karis is then, if you wish to hurry up, please. This is quite urgent.
That kind of thing makes me very uncomfortable, so I'm going to...
Wow. Oh, I see how it is.
I'm a bit of a prude.
Yeah,
I
okay.
see.
So you all make your way into the Viceroy's chambers. As you go in, you see it's kind of like on one wall it's lined with like shelves of books and stuff like that, and then there's a table in front of that filled with maps, and there's like an abacus and a scales. There off to the side then there's some candles, and there's more books lined on kind of a top of a cabinet. Then over to the centre of the room, this is off to the right, over to the centre of the room there's a large oak table, and there's piles of papers, and there's a huge chair, and there's a large feather dipped in an inkwell, more books kind of strewn about the place. You do see behind the chair there is a huge portrait of an elderly gentleman sitting in the same chair, and he looks slightly like the Viceroy, but he's older. And he's much greyer, he's got a longer beard, and he beside him is in the painting he's holding looks like a broadsword. He's kind of resting on a broadsword, and then you look below the portrait and you see that broadsword is then on the wall below that. The room is lit by candlelight on either sides. You see more piles of paper over to one side, more weights, like as in for the scales. There's some bags, small bags sitting kind of next to the scales and to other weights, and then more piles of paper. And it's a pretty tidy enough office. It's well kept. It looks well organised. The desk itself is clear in the centre, where there is kind of like a writing mat, and there are a few books piled on one side, and there's some blank pieces of parchment. The Viceroy moves behind the desk and sits down, and he says, "We have an urgent matter, obviously, in Breshton, and we need to have it addressed. I am not willing to send the Kingsguard. They are too busy keeping the people safe here in Terrismore. You seem to have been able to hold yourself well. I take it you are adventurers of some sort, because I do not recognize your faces. I'm very good with faces in this realm. You don't belong to any merchant guild, do you?"
No.
"Why were you at the banquet?"
Well,
We were sent.
Oh, we're letting Norman speak first. Wonderful.
I'm just speaking over the rest of you.
Yeah, good.
We were sent on behalf of another individual in this land who holds considerable power. We are his representatives.
"And who would that be?"
You may know the name Trevelyan.
The Viceroy kind of arcs an eyebrow and kind of sits back a bit. "I have heard of a Trevelyan.
Indeed, we are simply his representatives.
And what do you wish to represent in this place?"
He has much the same goal as it transpires do you. This, I am loath to use the word cult, but that is the word. This sect of interlopers who have invaded your banquet, seeking to endanger your life and that of your king. He too has issue with these individuals.
What do you know of the Dark Grasp?
More than I would wish to.
Do you know who they worship?
Oh,
Do we? Names are bad.
We
Roll a history check. I don't think it's Talazar does.
I don't think
You got 11,
it's-
so
Roll a
if the
history
name.
check.
No, 11.
15.
15 also.
15.
They are the worshippers, or they claim to be the worshippers, of our late king,
Yes.
King Vestivus. They claim that King Vestivus is now a god, and that he is coming back to rule and reclaim his throne from his brother Gregor.
And given your considerable resources, and I think at this stage Norman is sort of forgetting the rest of the party are present.
Sure.
Given your considerable resources, what if I was to tell you that I have reason to believe that that is correct?
What do you know of Vestivus?
I know nothing of Vestivus himself. And I lean in a little closer. But I did encounter one of his worshippers.
His eyes go wide.
And I take out the vial of sentient red liquid that I have kept.
He falters a bit.
Mhm.
He's like, make a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh, that's not very good. That's a 7.
That was cocked. It was on the
That was
page.
cocked.
Kind of. That's a 17. That's better.
Cirrus kind of moves forward,
Yeah.
and like when she sees that, and Vestivus, the Viceroy puts up his hand. He's like, no. He looks over at there's a pile of books, and he looks over further. He gets up from his chair and he goes over. He takes a pile of look like notebooks, journals, and he puts them down and he starts to go through them. And then he's flicking through pages, and he's like,
I am rapt with attention on this.
My grandfather was Vestivus's viceroy.
It runs in the family then.
It is a family tradition. My father was a soldier. He let the family tradition slide for a generation.
Always you have served the Roy.
But we have served the king as viceroy. These are my grandfather's journals.
I see.
And that is the reason why King Vestivus is no longer on the throne.
A sudden thought occurs to Norman. I want to look at him and go, I understand this is a significant ask. You need not let me out of your sight while I do it. But I am somewhat learned in the arcane arts. And I put a hand on, just not quite on, but just at the edge of his grandfather's journal, and take out Thane's journal, which I have kept since the tower.
Mm-hmm.
May I compare notes? For this came from one of them.
Oh.
No, I am going to read from this journal and explain to you why
Even better.
that is what caused the problem we now see ourselves trying to fix.
Oh, please do.
He's not gonna cast a spell out of there or anything, is he?
Hush, ignore him. He's only going to speak.
King Vestivus was hellbent. These are the words of my grandfather, the viceroy at the time. He would have. My grandfather, Arduin Carrick Black the First.
Goodness.
These are his words. King Vestivus is hell-bent on controlling the entire kingdom. He speaks of the coming war. He speaks of something we must prepare for, but he will not expand. The lands must be made ready, he says, to withstand the onslaught. He has sent agents out to all corners of the realm. He is in search of relics and weapons to fight an enemy. He will not tell me who. Then the Viceroy continues on with a few things. It skips ahead then to the night that Vestivus went missing. An agent has returned from the north. Their entire group was wiped out. I need you all to roll a perception check.
13.
9.
Art's here? 14.
Sorry about this.
What is that? 21, baby.
9.
Okay, that's the whisper.
Oh no!
Sorry, you don't get in a whisper, fam. All of you got a mother.
Will
Don't be careless
Vestivus
about
not
it
talk
now.
to the rest of us? Will Vestivus not talk to the rest?
It's just something I think that
Make sure he doesn't
this
take
way.
the best of us.
Oh, Wayne!
Oh. Oh.
Oh no!
That's a good nugget.
Norman's working the nips.
Norman, for his part, says nothing.
For once.
The agent returned from the north. An agent returned from the north. His entire group was wiped out, and he brings what he claims to be a weapon. Talazar at this point pipes up. He says, "What kind of weapon was this? What? How could one man survive the north? The north? Do you mean he went to the Orc Kingdom? This was 100 years ago. Where was this?" He says, "Yes, he was a member of a group who was sent far, far north into the Orclands to seek out a mystical weapon that was claimed to be in their hands. But since the Orcs were no longer alive and spread throughout the land in the bloodlines, the weapon lay dormant. Their entire group, bar one, was wiped out.
Bar one.
And he claimed to have this weapon. The king brought him into his chambers on private counsel and forbid anyone to enter. It was at this very moment we heard the noise. A loud shrieking, an unearthly sound that no man or creature could make. The king's chamber became wrought with light, red light. My grandfather eventually made his way in, bursting down the doors with the Kingsguard on his back, to find the room empty, bar this one item. And he reaches down into his desk and you hear a locking sound.
If Norman had genitals, you would just see just a throbbing boner right now. He is just like, he is on tenterhooks.
Oh god. He reaches down into a very, like you see it, he brings out a lockbox. And he opens up the lockbox. And inside there's another box. And he unlocks that. And he takes out a vial. And he holds it up. And it is filled with the living red liquid. And he moves it close to your one. And the two of them just go.
Yeah, I kind of reflexively like pull one back.
And the Viceroy pulls it back. And he places it back in the lockbox, and locks it again, and places it back into his cabinet and locks that. As you do it, I need you to roll an arcane check.
Okie dokie. That's a 15.
You sense a spell being activated as he locks it.
Okay.
You actually sense the spell activating when he unlocked it as well.
Okay.
So it's protected. If this threat has returned, it may not be the king. The king is gone and has been gone for 100 years. Our King Gregor has been a righteous and peaceful ruler.
He is not a warmonger. He is a man of accounting, a man of great intellect, but he is not a warlord. We need to know what lies in Breshton and why the Dark Grasp are there.
I have an inkling, but nothing more than that, I'm afraid. And then I look around at the rest of you and I'm like, there are elements of my story that I have perhaps omitted in this lead-up.
Go on.
And I hold up the journal again, Thane's journal. When I encountered the individual who wrote this, he was slain by a substance much like the one that I hold and you hold within that box. But there was another voice speaking through him. Not the voice of a fallen king. The voice of something else. I am of the belief that you are not dealing with a problem from within this plane. You, my friend, are dealing with a problem from without. And I sort of like I glance around and I'm like, and of course such a thing cannot be allowed to exist. Creatures from another plane. No, they represent too much of a threat.
Viceroy is kind of taken aback.
I can give you full details if you wish, but I suspect what you will find in this besieged hamlet will be much the same. Undead constructs given life by this, and I take it a while again and check it, given life by this false material, this extraplanar substance, with the will of one of those. I am a pious man, you must understand. Those would-be deities mean nothing to me. But I believe it is the will of an extraplanar creature, an outsider, if you will, that speaks.
You seem to know a lot about this subject.
I have studied this subject my entire life.
And what of the rest of you?
We have seen things we didn't believe possible. We've been witness to magical events and concepts that we never would have considered, and we've been forged together to campaign for normality and peace, and we are willing to help keep these threats at bay in any way that we can.
I require your services now. I need you to go to Breshton. I will pay. And we will...
Immediately, I'm like, I fully agree.
Do you have, I take it this is not your regular clothing, you are dressed for a banquet. Do you have other means of armor, weaponry,
Yes.
and such?
Would everybody agree that we would like to be to take whatever assistance we can from the Viceroy as regards tooling up? Do we want to go as a group ourselves? Do you want to keep it to just us if it's 250 of a horde?
Can we take? That seems like a lot of.
At that point, Karis speaks to him.
Nice.
I may be of assistance.
Yay.
And she turns to you.
You are dressed in our garb. You are a warrior. And I will present you with this. And she holds out a globe, a small globe, that has intricate designs across it. It looks hollow, but there's a glow on the inside. This is a summoning device. When you need substantial backup, you use this. But I tell you, it must be of dire consequences, because we cannot leave this kingdom unprotected. We do not leave our king
unprotected.
I appreciate
Only
it.
when you need us do you use this. If it is misused, you will be held responsible.
That's fair.
She gives it to you. The Viceroy is basically started to scribble and write things down. I can offer you gold, platinum, I can offer you supplies, whatever you need. All I require from you is to scout out Breshton. We have an army, but right now we need to keep the peace. The people must not know that this is taking place. King Gregor's reign must continue.
It was a banger outside when she woke up. Yeah.
King Gregor's reign must continue. He is a good man. I will inform him of this situation. I will make him aware. But I implore you to do what you can. Do it quietly. And help where you can. And then report back to me.
I believe we can do such a thing.
Yeah, that's doable.
So he...
What do you think, Talazar?
Oh. Talazar has been, ever since he asked the question about the weapon, he's been quiet. And he's been looking very contemplative, kind of just slightly puzzled. So the Viceroy offers you a tidy sum to perform this cast.
Give us numbers.
And he's offered to give you at least 150 platinum.
Good man.
Wow.
Out of the coffers of, this is a very wealthy city. For you to go and scout out the
Breshton.
the town of Breshton to the north. For the sake of brevity, because we are getting on in time here, so for the sake of brevity, what we're going to do is you're going to be escorted out of the banquet hall and you're going to be brought back to the inn, where you will gather your equipment and your horses and you will make your way north to Breshton. You travel through the woods unscathed. You do get an armed escort to the outskirts of the woods that kind of are before Breshton. It's a good half a day's ride as you go through.
So my meat is gone.
Your meat's gone.
Okay.
You've a half a day's ride.
But not normal meat.
No. Half a day's ride to the town of Breshton. As you get there, because the banquet was happening that evening.
I was gonna say, is it
Yeah.
the wee hours of the morning?
It's
or
the
is
wee
it
hours of the morning when you arrive. It's dawn. It's dawn. You come out of the woods outside Breshton and it's dawn. You tie up the horses and you make your way. There's a kind of a break in the woods and it's a kind of a hill that looks down into Breshton.
Okay.
So you come over the crest of the hill and you're looking down, and what you see is basically a town surrounded in a purple dome, and you see what you can make out is at least 3 spellcasters hovering, floating mid-air, clad in the colours of the Dark Grasp, and they are bombarding the dome with Eldritch Blasts. You see then tents and groups of soldiers, or they're dark grasp acolytes, just smattered about, hundreds of them. You're roughly guessing it's about 200 to 250. Roughly, the goblin obviously couldn't tell a lie at the time, so they were telling the truth that is the amount of people that are there. And the spellcasters are trying to bombard this shield that seems to be covering the town of Breshton. And as you look, you see that the dome is starting to kind of flicker. From behind you, you hear a rustle in the woodlands, and you turn, and that's where we're going to end tonight.
God damn
There we go.
It's Kurt Russell.
Can I just maybe retcon one slight thing?
Yeah, this is for you.
Yeah. I would like to, before we set off on our journey, as I have explained my knowledge of creatures from the outer planes and things like that, I want to leave a small docket behind my own journal on the Viceroy's desk, which explains exactly why these outer planes creatures and creatures that can exist between planes are so dangerous, relating to the problem that is at hand, and mention to beware one Dacius Trevelyan for the danger that I believe he poses.
Okay.
And I just want to leave that behind with the Viceroy.
Excellent. You've left that behind with the Viceroy on his desk as you've left.
That's just the little things that I wanted to do.
Yeah. So that is where we're going to leave tonight's episode, folks.
So,
We hope
Kurt
you've enjoyed
Russell's coming
yourselves. Russell is coming out of the bushes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning
Yes,
in.
absolutely.
thanks, guys.
Really appreciate it. We've really appreciated the
We've
support
had
so
a great
far.
time.
Yeah.
Did you guys enjoy yourselves?
Yeah,
absolutely.
awesome.
Total blast.
And I
Eldritch
think
Blast.
we would, very good. We would clap, but unfortunately we can't right now because there's a sleepy child. But
Yeah.
props to our
There's a sleepy
DM.
Yes.
Major props to Wayne. Quiet clap
Death clap.
for putting all this together.
Yes.
So thank you guys. I appreciate that. But for the next session, we will figure out where we're going to go from here.
Yeah.
It's the usual cliffhangery instance. We want to thank everyone for checking out the videos on YouTube
Absolutely,
and also
yeah.
listen to the podcast. We also want to thank anyone that's left likes or comments. Please
yeah, thank
comment on the videos. Let us know what you think.
It's
You know.
amazing that you guys are enjoying it, but we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And one little thing as well. Obviously we said it at the start, but our much missed Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we miss you, Tom.
We miss you, Tom.
we
We'll
look
see you
forward to
next
having you
session,
back.
man.
Bring different dice.
Yeah, you
Bring
can roll your own
different
shitty
dice.
dice
Bring
next
different
time.
dice.
And
Because you're really
If
letting us
anybody
down.
wants to, submit fan art, shipping characters together.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Obviously the Norman X Arity or fan art is what we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
So
That's it. So, folks, thank you so much. Until
Yeah,
next time,
absolutely.
this has been Pubcast by Dungeons and Dragons. Good night.
good night. We've had a great time.